pre-approval. You see, the banks have lots of branches, fancy headquarters, vice presidents and assistant vice presidents. And the loan officers who get referrals from real estate agents, they're typically very highly paid. Who do you think pays for all that extra expense? Turns out it's you. High overhead and high compensation naturally translate into higher closing costs. At Accunet, our extreme efficiency and low overhead mean your closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 lower than banks and other lenders for exactly the same rate. Don't light your hard-earned money on fire. Get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval today by clicking on the blue button and put the money you'll save in closing costs towards something for your new home. That's ACCUNET.com.
Rose Gray here from Fox World Travel. The largest vacation sale in the nation is happening right now. It's the Fox World Travel exclusive July sale with Apple Vacations. Select from top resorts at favorite destinations in Mexico and the Caribbean, paired with nonstop flights to get you there fast. Let Fox World Travel book your best price guarantee vacation and secure your reservation with just a deposit. You can also book your trip online. Visit foxworldtravel.com/July or call 866-GO-FOX-GO today.
Breaking news as it happens. Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 6 o'clock. I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. Monday, July 22nd, our top story, a major pivot for the Democrats.
I'm Erik Bilstad. How Wisconsinites are reacting to the news.
I'm Debbie Lazago. We're looking pretty good on the roads right now. No delays and no incidents up on the board. So far, everything is looking great. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Son Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Mostly sunny skies today. Just a small chance of a pop-up shower inland with a high of 80 degrees. Mostly clear tonight, low down to 66. Milwaukee at 65 right now. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, President Biden's decision to drop out of the presidential race has energized much of the Democratic Party, though some donors have their concerns about the president's endorsement of his vice president, Kamala Harris.
Democrats reported a record amount of online donations in the hours after Biden's announcement yesterday, nearly $50 million. But one major Biden donor says if Harris becomes the nominee, he won't fundraise for the Democratic ticket. High-profile lawyer John Morgan telling ABC News it's one thing to vote for somebody, it's another thing to raise millions of dollars for somebody. You have to really be in. President Biden says he'll address the nation later this week, providing more details about his decision to drop out of the race. I'm Wynn, ABC News, Washington.
Vice President Harris will be in Milwaukee tomorrow for a campaign event. It will likely be her first since the decision was made by the president. No word yet on a location or a time for that campaign event tomorrow. Now that he is out, many people in Milwaukee are backing the president for his decision to endorse the VP.
Homeowner Todd Ferris proudly displays a Biden-Harris sign in his front yard.
It was inevitable. I understand why it took so long, because he was the best candidate until he wasn't.
Ferris says he thinks Vice President Kamala Harris is the best person at the top of the ticket now. It's a thought being echoed by others, like Tom Maloney on Milwaukee's East Side.
She's worked alongside him. She's been a prosecutor. She's been an attorney general. She's been a senator. Now a vice president. I think she has a lot of experience.
And Harriet McKinney, who lives in Sherman Park.
The country's been in the hands of white men for how many years? It's time to give a woman a chance. It's time to give a black woman a chance. It's time to give this woman a chance.
Jessica Ty, WTMJ News.
It's been a dead heat between Trump and Biden in recent Marquette University Law School polls surveying Wisconsin voters. But the next version of the poll will obviously look different. Director of the poll, Charles Franklin, telling WTMJ they're ready to shift to questioning pitting Trump against Vice President Harris.
Thankfully, the writing was on the wall enough that we're well prepared to do that, and we'll be in the field this week.
Franklin says they'll only conduct one poll before the Democratic National Convention in August.
Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on his way to the U.S. today to give an address to Congress later in the week, where he plans to meet with President Biden following the announcement.
I plan to see President Biden, whom I've known for over 40 years. This will be an opportunity to thank him for the things he did for Israel in the war and during his long and distinguished career in public service.
Last fall, Biden was the first U.S. president to make a wartime visit to Israel, less than 2 weeks after the October 7th attack by Hamas.
Today, the director of the U.S. Secret Service due to testify before the House about the assassination attempt on former President Trump.
Secret Service Director Kim Cheadle not expecting a friendly reception at her public House hearing. Many of the committee's Republican majority members demanding she resign after the attempt on Donald Trump's life. Last week, she told ABC's Pierre Thomas,
"We're going to continue to be transparent and communicate with people."
You plan to stay on? Absolutely.
I do plan to stay on.
Homeland Security conducting its own bipartisan independent investigation of the assassination attempt. Andy Field, ABC News, Washington.
Amid quality control problems and production delays, tens of thousands of Boeing workers are in the middle of contract talks that could have an impact on both.
Members of the International Association of Machinists Local, based in Seattle, have voted to sanction a strike should contract talks with Boeing fail. The union's not only demanding better pay, but a reduction in mandatory overtime at a time when Boeing is already behind on deliveries. It slowed production because of problems like the door panel blowout on a 737 in January. The union says it is also pushing for additional quality and safety measures. Heather Bosch, CBS News, Seattle.
Coming up, he declared it the Year of the Worker. Now he says it's working. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:05.
This report sponsored by Pella of Wisconsin. Discover Pella now, pay later at PellaWI.com.
Wow, Wayne, that is a beautiful window.
It sure is, Jeff. It really tackles energy efficiency.
Sure has a nice slide.
It's one of the best screenplays I've ever seen.
They're so easy to close. I'd say it's a grand slam.
If you guys keep making those dad jokes, you're going to be a real pain in my neck.
Oh, that's a good one. Did you hear about this one?
While those two go on and on, let me share something that is not a joke. Order today from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and pay as low as $18 per window and $81 per patio door per month. The installation is completed with no mess and no hassle, leaving nothing but perfect results. A new patio door or front door makes for the perfect backstop. How was that one, guys? Ugh, they're gone. Jeff and Wayne love doing the Irish goodbye. Anyway, moving on from the dad jokes, don't miss this great deal from Pella. Get as low as $18 per window and $81 per patio door per month. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply on 7/31/2024.
No one wanted to hire me. They just saw my disability, but not me. I worked hard to get the education and the skills needed to thrive. I was ready to work. Then someone believed in me and said yes.
And once you say yes, Thinkability Wisconsin will be there, providing transition and workforce support for people with disabilities and their employers to help shape a better future for all. It all starts when you say yes. Join the movement at thinkabilitywi.org.
From my family and myself, I would like to say thank you to Gruber Law Offices for taking such good care of us.
I would say thank you because you were so human and so much of a friend during the whole process.
I'm super grateful for them representing me and doing all that they did for me.
I would just say thank you for making me feel better.
That's why I'm here, to say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:07.
Brewers get a win, and Packers open training camp today. We've got sports at 6:15.
Following breaking news from Milwaukee County, it happened overnight. A 17-year-old girl killed early this morning. 9 other youth injured during a shooting at what's being called a car party. Took place at Deneen Park on the west side of the city. Now, witnesses and investigators are now reporting that a group of several dozen people, many of them teenagers, had gathered on the at the park, Deneen Park. Social media invitation there for a car party. A lot of people showed up there. A fight ensued. Several people were shot, including the 17-year-old girl who was killed. Another young woman was trampled and now is in the hospital for that. suffering non-life-threatening injuries. Much more details on this throughout the morning, but a mass shooting at Deneen Park, 1 dead, 9 injured.
A look at Wisconsin's unemployment numbers show a state outpacing much of the nation in job growth.
Governor Tony Evers declared 2024 the year of the worker, and the Badger State is seeing record highs for employment this summer. The latest Bureau of Labor Statistics data shows Wisconsin's seasonally adjusted unemployment rate was 2.9% in June. That's more than a full percentage point below the national unemployment rate of 4.1%. The total number of people employed in Wisconsin also hit a new high, over 3,048,000 non-farm jobs. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Coming up, a list of what's not happening in Milwaukee this week, because it's shorter.
It's just one thing
than
that's
the
not
list of
happening.
everything that is. That's next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
This report is sponsored by Diamonds Direct. Your love, their passion.
You're not going to want to miss this. Diamonds Direct summer sale starts this weekend. For 3 days only this Friday through Sunday, get 20% off rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, and more. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. And designers are flying in from New York and LA to showcase their latest trends. That's 20% off, plus $100 off with an appointment and designer trunk shows. Tons of engagement rings on sale too. 20% off starts Friday. Details at diamondsdirect.com. 3 days only and Sunday.
True Chicago-style pizza is thin, crispy, and cut into squares. And thanks to Connie's Frozen Pizza, you can enjoy a true slice of the city. You'll enjoy it so much you won't even mind where it comes from. Connie's Frozen Pizzas are made from the same cornmeal crust Connie's has been serving for over 60 years. They're perfectly cheesy, perfectly saucy, and they're exactly what you crave. Get to know the true Chicago style with Connie's Frozen Pizza. Born in Chicago, loved by cheeseheads. Available in a freezer aisle near you.
Traffic is sponsored by Milwaukee's Original House Party. Celebrate 42 years of tradition at German Fest this weekend. Celebrate 42 years of German Fest, July 26th, 27th, and 28th. $5 admission Friday. Free admission for active military, veterans, and one companion all day, any day.
6:10 at Wisconsin's Morning News. Let's get an update on the roads here, Deb.
All right, got a pretty good ride shaping up right now. No major delays around the area, and volume's pretty light as well. No incidents up on the board, so we're looking good. That's your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Plenty of sunshine today with high temperatures near 80 this afternoon. There will once again be the small chance for a pop-up rain shower thunderstorm inland away from the lake. Those rain chances, though, are looking very low for today. Tonight, mostly clear skies. Temperatures in the mid-60s, a better chance for showers and thunderstorms Tuesday afternoon and evening. More humidity works into the area with high temperatures in the lower 80s. Some of those rain showers could linger into Wednesday morning. Otherwise, we start to dry things out by Wednesday afternoon with high temperatures in the upper 70s. Plenty of sunshine on Thursday with high temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. Then more upper 70s on Friday with mostly sunny skies. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Got you at 65 in Milwaukee.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
From the office of the Vice President, VP Kamala Harris today set to welcome college basketball stars to the White House. 10:30 our time, congratulating the NCAA championship teams. Okay, that'll be an interesting event now.
It's kind of an elephant in the room, right?
Yeah, right? Oh, by the way, what did you do this weekend? Tomorrow due in Milwaukee. Still no details on her previously announced visit, which has obviously taken on far greater significance now that President Joe Biden is officially out of the race for re-election and he has endorsed his VP for the job. ABC's Stephen Portnoy joins us live at 6:20 this morning to break down these developments and reaction from the Trump campaign as well. So you have that. A monster week shaping up here in Wisconsin. Opening today. EAA AirVenture in Oshkosh, daily air shows, tons to see at Whitman Regional Airport. Day one is today. That runs through the weekend. Milwaukee Air and Water Show runs Saturday and Sunday in Milwaukee. Expect to see the fighter jets buzzing around the skies by midweek, doing their practice runs. Also, okay, that sound for you. Harley-Davidson's now annual homecoming party. That officially begins Thursday. Big concerts at Veterans Park are Friday and Saturday. But riders from all around the world expected to pack the dealerships and other spots and venues throughout southeast Wisconsin later this week.
I already saw some of the Harleys over the weekend. Oh, yeah, they were
zipping
rolling
all
in.
over. There's a dealership near me on the south side, House of Harley on Layton Avenue, and like the build out for what they've been preparing for is already up. Not enough? German Fest opens Friday at Meyer Festival Park. Packers open training camp today in Green Bay. Folks head up for that. Practices open this week.
It's nonstop. I think there's even more.
Did you say like Beer Fest was going on?
There's a like a craft beer brewery tasting on Saturday at McKinley. Got the sausage race, the 5K Brewers sausage race is Saturday. I think it's a 10K also in there.
I mean, what else?
Deadpool? I don't know.
Is South Shore Frolic back this weekend? Right?
When's Dan Jensen's event? Doesn't he have something?
Yeah, right? There in Greenfield? That's got the Family Fest.
Does that
right?
still happen?
It does still happen. I don't know. We'll check that. Like, we're out of time.
It was a sobering headline. Social Security to run short by 2035. A possible 17% reduction in benefits. At Annex Wealth Management, we feel that Social Security is only one leg of the retirement stool, but it provides needed balance. It's time to stress test your retirement plan and move forward with guidance from the fee-only fiduciaries at Annex. Do it for you, your family, your legacy. Investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning. It only takes a few minutes to get the ball rolling. Head to annexwealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here. Have the 12-year-old had a party. She's turning 13 today, so she had a bunch of girls over at the house sleeping over. And one of them, whom I know, comes over. Hi, Mr. Bilstad. Hey, so what's the deal with your roof?
She did not.
She said, you got something.
12-year-old did not ask you about the roof.
She said, what's going on with your roof? I'm like, oh, you're talking about the worry-free roof tune-up from Tri-County Contracting.
Tell your folks.
I think that's how she heard about it. But Tri-County Contracting, they give you the worry-free.
When you're at the Bilsteads today, ask Mr. Bilstead about his roof.
Yeah. And make sure you keep it down when he goes to bed early because you girls are going to be up all night. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com is the website. Worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. They do it all. They've been doing it for more than 40 years. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
Green Bay Packers open training camp in Green Bay today. No new deal for quarterback Jordan Love just yet. Packers did announce a contract extension for defensive lineman Kenny Clark. General Manager Brian Gutekunst expected to discuss further details of the deal later this morning. Meanwhile, the kids get the bikes ready for the ride from Lambeau Field over to Ray Nitschke practice facility across Oneida Street in Green Bay.
And you start to not even think of him as really a player. You just kind of look at him as a friend.
I get a little nervous, but it's fun because they're interactive.
It was exciting because I was like one of the last people, and I thought I wasn't going to get picked, and I was really nervous.
Yeah, but then I got picked, and it was the best day ever.
That's awesome.
NBC 26 News up there in Green Bay talking with kids at one of the earlier training camps. Players continuing that tradition of riding the bikes over to practice. Practice is open to the public at 10:30 a.m. today, followed by the annual shareholders meeting. Okay, this is the Packers treasurer right now giving the financial update. Treasurer's report. Seen a lot of people head for the concession stand at this point. Too interested in the math. I attended my first meeting as an owner back in 2022. Mm-hmm. There is some actual business that takes place with the board of directors, which is not very sexy. Like they have various things. Here's the treasurer's report.
I like that, though. That's so cool, though. The fact that they get into the nuts and bolts of it.
I'm an owner.
Yeah.
I have a right to know these things. You also get updates from the general manager, from President Mark Murphy. A festive show that is this afternoon as we kick off the 2024 season.
How about them Brewers?
1-0. Drill deep to left. Watch this baby. Way back. Way gone. Second deck. Game-tying home run. Jackson Chourio. Have yourself a weekend at Target Field. Chourio knots the game at 5, leading off the 7th inning.
Jackson Chourio with a bomb, also a double on Sunday. 3 RBIs as the Brewers sweep the Twins 8-7 in the final there. Manager Pat Murphy says the Brewers got Chourio cheap. It's like an 8-year deal, $80 million, something like that. Murphy says the kid deserves double. Like, he's just ridiculous. He went 5 for 9 in the series. It's just 2 games. 5 for 9, double homer, 2 stolen bases, 3 runs scored, 5 RBI. You can say that's working.
Live in stereo with my main man, Jackson Cheerio.
Up next for the crew, a trip to Chicago to take on the bumbling Cubs.
How are they doing down there? Pretty good?
Last place. 7:05 first pitch. Our pregame coverage starts at 6 right here on WTMJ.
6:18 on Wisconsin's Morning News. We'll go live to Washington, talk with ABC's Stephen Portnoy, who just left Milwaukee for the Republican National Convention. Find out what's cooking now. We'll look at the Democrats. We'll look at the Republicans, how things have changed. That's all next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Jackson Chorio, have yourself a weekend.
I'm Greg Matzik. In Green Bay, the Ed Policy era will begin in July of 2025. The current chief operating officer of the Packers, he is going to replace current president and CEO Mark Murphy.
And I'm Jessica Tai. New details at noon about Ascension's cybersecurity attack. The hospital group now says it knows how the attackers gained access to their systems.
What is that exactly?
Wisconsin's Midday News.
Weekdays 11 to 1
at 620 WTMJ.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Merck here. If you're like me, your home is your happy place, and you spend a lot of time there, and this may have renewed your focus on home projects, let me tell you the company you need to work with. It's the company I trust, CertaPro Painters. Each business is independently owned and operated right here. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. They did the work in our house. Absolutely fantastic. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose Happy, choose CertaPro Painters. Exterior painting still getting booked for the summer. Work with CertaPro Painters.
You know Fleet Farm's got everything for everyday life. But did you know we also have the best prices guaranteed every day? Like 40 pounds of Diamond Crystal Softener Salt, on sale now for just $5.69. Or a 40-pound bag of Black Oil Sunflower Seed, on sale for $17.49. And on the odd day you find a lower price, we'll match it. Any day, every day. Fleet Farm's got everything you need for everyday life, all at the best prices. Guaranteed.
At 6:20, let's get an update on traffic here, Debbie.
Okay, it's looking pretty good right now, Vince. We got light volume around the area, full freeway speeds. No incidents to speak of around the area. Maybe just a couple broken down vehicles here and there, but they're out of traffic, not causing any issues right now. Hey, be our eyes on the roads. Report incidents to the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Sunny today, a high of 80. There's a low chance for a pop-up shower inland today. Tonight, clear, a low of 66. Tuesday, storms are likely tomorrow. Scattered stuff, a high of 83. Wednesday, chance of rain in the morning, a high of 77. Thursday, sunny 76. Friday, sunny 79. Right now, 65 at 6:21.
What is not happening today? This morning, Democrats reeling, Republicans pivoting.
If you ever wondered how Joe Biden could get the border so screwed up, remember, he had help.
An attack ad made by a pro-Trump group is already airing in key battleground states.
That didn't take but a second. ABC's Rhiannon Ally there reporting the GOP wasting no time following the weekend announcement that President Biden will not seek re-election. He has endorsed his Vice President Kamala Harris, who is set to visit Milwaukee tomorrow. ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy, who just left Milwaukee following the RNC, live with us this morning. Hey, Stephen.
Hey, fellas. Good morning. You know, I keep thinking about it. I've been thinking about it since I left Milwaukee, as I was on with Jessica and Greg and John and Julia, and I probably made some predictions that didn't bear out. So forgive me in advance for anything I might say here this morning, but wow, what a weekend it has been, and what a new dynamic race we have, as the majority of House Democrats have now come out and said that they support Kamala Harris's run, and they've endorsed her along with key union leaders, governors of various states, and the momentum is tremendous. Overnight, there was a call organized for African-American women in support of Harris. More than 45,000 people were reportedly on that Zoom call. And that's just the latest example of just this enormous and very sudden groundswell of support on the left, a new energy on the left in the wake of the president's shocking announcement yesterday at midday that he would be stepping out of the race, not resigning from office, but stepping out of the race.
So let's go to the other side then. I recall from one of those campaign briefings, Erik and I were at one of those in the morning, a question came up about a vice presidential debate. It was right after the J.D. Vance announcement. And a Trump campaign official sort of quipped, well, we don't know who the vice presidential candidate will be at this point. It was a joke, but clearly indicated that they knew this was possible, if not imminent.
Well, it certainly seemed very likely going into the weekend. And the reporting indicates that members of Joe Biden's inner circle huddled with him on Saturday. Remember, he's still in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, recovering from COVID. And the word was that they sat with him and from a distance and explained that they had data that indicated that he was not going to win in November. And that is what led him to the decision to remove himself from the running. And so now it's a completely different race, as I say. This morning, just in the last few minutes, the super PAC that supports Donald Trump, MAGA Inc., Make America Great Again Inc., has a new fact sheet, as they describe it, looking at Kamala Harris's record. They call her a weak on-crime prosecutor when she served as San Francisco's district attorney. Kamala Harris owns Joe Biden's open border. You heard that clip from the Rhiannon Alley piece as you led into this segment. That illustrates that the Trump campaign is ready to go. We had reported over the weekend before the president's announcement that he wasn't going to run that the Trump campaign was already digging into possible number twos on a Kamala Harris ticket. And you imagine that work continues speedily with dossiers being prepared on all of the possible contenders who could join her on a ticket.
And I have to assume, too, Stephen, that there's going to be a lawsuit or three. It just seems like that would be the next likely step from the GOP side of things to file a complaint in one of these states.
Well, look, the experts we've talked to say that there's no grounds to do that because the Democratic convention has not yet been held. The fact that there were primaries that have been held, sure, that's one thing, but there's no that was not necessarily indicative. I mean, the primary in any one state doesn't necessarily impact the ultimate outcome.
Sure.
So I don't know that there's anything there. I do know that there was a lot of talk about the possibility, but it seems to me that if the Democrats can get their ducks in a row and nominate someone, be it Harris or anybody else, by a certain state's deadline, that gets ahead of that.
Talking with ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy. On the Democratic side, Stephen, how does this play out? Say ultimately it is Vice President Harris who gets that nomination. Do the Democrats at least have to offer the view or the idea that there was a contest, that there was a battle, that other people had a chance? I mean, there are other people who are saying, like, I don't know, why not me?
Well, the one person who has been talked about, although this morning in an interview he suggested it, he's not necessarily interested, is Joe Manchin, the now independent senator from West Virginia who left the Democratic Party earlier this year.
Right.
There have been some rumblings that maybe he might re-register as a Democrat to challenge Harris. I don't think he's going to win a majority of the delegates. I don't think that's going to happen. But I think that it might be significant for the Democrats to show the country that there was some sort of process, that this wasn't a sudden coronation. I mean, look, it's difficult for all the obvious reasons in Democratic politics right now. There's the historic nature of a Kamala Harris candidacy, the first black woman, the first South Asian woman. The fact that she is the sitting vice president clearly gives her a leg up. There's the practical reality, the fact that she now controls the campaign cash, close to $100 million that she's able to spend without complications. If another candidate were to emerge, it'd be extremely much more difficult for that candidate to access that money that's already been raised. And so for all those reasons, I think that Kamala Harris is very likely to ascend to the top of the ticket. If there shouldn't really be much doubt about it this morning, but let's see how it all plays out.
ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy. You got out of here okay, right, Stephen?
I was very fortunate not to have to worry. Let me tell you something. When I was at the airport on Friday, there was a 2.5-hour wait just at bag check for Delta Airlines. Nothing against any one airline in particular. Right. We all had the troubles with the crowd strike, but I was very fortunate not to have any myself.
It was great to see you. Thanks for stopping by.
You bet, guys.
We should mention Vice President Harris will be in Milwaukee tomorrow. No details yet on where, when, that type of thing, but the VP will be in Bruce City.
News about your money this morning, WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average left things Friday at 40,288. That was down about 380 points. The NASDAQ was off 145 to 17,727. S&P 500 closed at 5505. That was down just about 40 points. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
For your next exterior remodeling project, we know you're not asking a lot from us. You want the right products for your situation, you want a few different financing options that can make your project affordable, and you want us to do a good job with minimal disruption to your life. And this one's important. You want a warranty that matters. And we know that checking every box makes all the difference. You might be surprised at how many moving parts go into it, but we have just the right people in all the right places to pull that off every day and make it look easy. The company we have took us 21 years to build. It's an awesome place to work because we never stop improving it, and we think we can do this work so well that we can actually change the reputation of exterior remodelers long term. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Ask about our finance options.
I was stuffed up. It was almost like someone put a clothespin over my nose. As an athlete, it did affect my performance. And as I got older, the congestion and poor sleep really took their toll.
Mike's a lifetime athlete. After hearing about Advent, he felt he could finally find a solution to his breathing triangle problems.
With my congestion, the kind of sleep I was getting wasn't allowing me to function the way I wanted to.
When your nose isn't working like it should be, it's going to negatively affect your sleep. And then you really can't be at your best at anything that you're doing.
It's been about 5 years since coming to Advent, and what balloon sinuplasty did for my quality of life, that step I took was one of the best decisions I've ever made.
Balloon sinuplasty can help solve your breathing triangle problems, which will help you sleep better. And that's going to help you live a better quality of life.
Unlock your potential. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Results may vary.
6:30. I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. Monday, July 22nd, our top story. A mass shooting at a Milwaukee park.
I'm Erik Bilstad. Democrats pivot after a big weekend.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Starting to tighten up a bit on 894 westbound from about Loomis out towards 58th Street, so just be careful. Otherwise, everything else is rolling along just fine. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Nice one today. High of 80 degrees under mostly sunny skies with a chance of a pop-up shower away from Lake Michigan. Then tonight, mostly clear. Low down to 66. Good chance to see the full moon. 65 right now in Milwaukee.
This is a special report from ABC News. Biden drops out. I'm Sherry Preston. World leaders are reacting to the news that President Biden has withdrawn from the 2024 presidential race. Here's ABC's Tom Rivers at the Foreign Desk.
At the recent NATO summit, Keir Starmer said after his one-on-one with Joe Biden, he was sharp. Now, that same prime minister says he respects the president's decision. Elsewhere, Germany's Olaf Scholz, whose party recently came in a dismal third in EU elections, was quick to praise the man who said Nord Stream 2 would not come online. Elsewhere in Russia, questions persist as to whether the decision was in fact voluntary.
Now, as for the Republican nominee, former President Donald Trump,
we know from our sources that the Trump team has been building a book to take on Kamala Harris, attack her for some of her past statements, and do everything they can to tie her to Joe Biden.
That's ABC senior investigative producer John Santucci. This is ABC News.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a teenager dead, 9 other teens injured after a mass shooting overnight in Milwaukee's Deneen Park.
The Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office says a 17-year-old girl is the fatal victim of the shooting, which happened after what's being called an impromptu car party in the park around 12:30 this morning. The 9 other shooting victims are currently receiving treatment, including an 18-year-old male who is in critical condition. 2 homes near the park were also struck by bullets from the incident, but there have been no reports of any injuries from inside either of the homes. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
A 6-year-old child from Milwaukee is dead from suspected child abuse, according to police. They have arrested a woman in connection to the child's death. It's not known what the relationship the woman had to the victim.
Presidential race now looks much different than it did just days ago. UW-La Crosse political science professor Anthony Chergosky telling WTMJ the importance that both parties have has not changed.
I think it's going to take a little while for us to get a sense of how this is settling in with voters, but there's going to be nationwide attention on how Wisconsin voters are reacting to the idea of Kamala Harris being the Democratic presidential nominee.
Chergosky said he expects the vice president to rally Biden's staunch supporters to stay with her and win new supporters among those who were skeptical of the president's reelection campaign.
It remains to be seen if the president dropping out moves the needle on what's been a tight race in Wisconsin. The next Marquette University Law School poll will give Wisconsinites one of their first looks at the post-Biden polling. Poll director Charles Franklin tells WTMJ they'll be in the field surveying residents this week.
This poll will be our last before the convention, and then we'll be out with another poll immediately after the Democrats meet. So this will give us a quick look at where things stand today, but things could shift over the course of the week or the time between now and the convention.
And Franklin says he believes it'll be easier to see how voters are trending after the DNC in August.
Coming up this morning, airlines still struggling to unravel the snarl caused Friday by that huge IT outage. We'll get you an update on that. Traffic sponsored by Two Men and a Junk Truck. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
From removing unwanted clutter or junk to full-service residential or commercial cleanouts, get a free same-day estimate at twomenandajuncktruck.com. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
You're hearing it every day. Another political ad, another agenda. But no matter what happens in this election or the next, you still have the power to control your financial future. Elections can impact a lot of things, including the stock market, inflation, and taxes. And if you're thinking about retirement, I'd love to get you our Retirement Ready Toolkit to prepare you for the retirement you've always envisioned. Our team of advisors at Drake & Associates will show you how your savings might be affected and what you can do now to help prepare. Don't let this election or any election control your retirement future. Call or text PREPARE to 414-441-5451 to get your complimentary Retirement Ready Toolkit. That's PREPARE to 414-441-5451.
Investment advisory services provided by Drake & Associates, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Insurance products are offered through a separate company, Loft Financial Advisory Group, LLC, a Wisconsin insurance agency. Clients are under no obligation to purchase any recommended insurance products.
Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. Visit jamesimaging.com.
Michael Quizon is the IT Systems Administrator at Great Midwest Bank. Before switching to document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems, they had a printer problem.
We talked to James Imaging. We said, we need to take down the number of printers that we have. What can we do?
The experts at James Imaging Systems researched your printing process, overall workflow, costs, supplies.
So we went from probably 120, 130 printers down to 50 some odd printers.
And
our cost from supplies perspective went down. I mean, we're talking about thousands in a year. So we saved a lot of money by bringing James Imaging on.
Michael, the benefit as the bank's IT systems administrator?
I don't have to deal with printers. One less thing on my plate.
Anything to add about your experience?
In terms of James Imaging, they've been a great partner.
Switch to document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:36.
Packers open training camp today, and Brewers rookie Jackson Chourio hopes to never leave Target Field. Had a weekend.
Airlines, including Delta, continuing to struggle to restore operations 2 days after a faulty software update caused technological havoc worldwide, resulted in several airlines grounding flights. The Delta CEO said in a statement on Sunday that flight cancellations continue as they try to recover its system and restore operations. This from that situation from security company CrowdStrike, sent out a corrupted software update that shut down more than 8 million Microsoft devices.
The outage impacting operations at our nation's ports, borders, hospitals, 911 call centers, and more. The fix isn't fast. It's machine by machine, where each computer needs to be manually rebooted and updated.
CBS correspondent Elise Preston. We heard one soundbite on Friday of a pilot saying, yeah, I had no idea where to park the plane. Like, landed the plane in Newark or someplace like that, and they didn't know where to put him. So he's like, I'm just going to boot. put it in park here.
We're just over here for now.
Didn't know where to put the plane. Just crazy. And other people just trying to find places to sleep.
We found a place at the airport, and 2 hours later, someone came and said, no, you cannot stay there because this area will close. So we had to wake up the children and to find another place.
Oh, can you imagine that? Like you finally find like just a couple of seats.
Got your little corner there. It's kind of dark.
Hey,
Okay.
sorry, ma'am. Wake up your kids. You can't stay here. Like, oh, come on.
That's where you hope some of these airports, like you're dealing with an extraordinary situation.
Yes.
Can you help out?
Throw them a bone, maybe.
Right.
Anyway, it's supposed to get better and better each day, but still dealing with cancellation.
6:38 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. If you've got water in your house, you need Guthrie and Fry. We've got their water softener. We get their salt delivery. We've got reverse osmosis that protects the water in our house. They've got the best people. They've got the best products. It's Guthrie and Fry. They treat their clients like their family. I feel that every time they're in our house, you need Guthrie and Fry. Fixed rental rates, convenient salt delivery programs. It's gfwater.com.
Better water makes a big difference. Guthrie and Fry.
People saw me and assumed I couldn't work. They only saw a disability, but I was ready to work. I am dependable, trainable, and productive. Then someone decided to believe in me and say yes.
And once you say yes, Thinkability Wisconsin will be there, providing transition and workforce support for people with disabilities and their employers to help shape a better future for all. It all starts when you say yes. Join the movement at thinkabilitywi.org.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad. It's swimming season, or for some of us, golfing or gardening season, but you're not out there enjoying your favorite hobby because you're sidelined from arthritic joint pain. Bone-on-bone pain in your knees or hips, maybe? Here's what you do. You call QC Kinetics. There are exciting new cellular therapies that can get you the lasting relief you need. QC Kinetics is helping patients all the time. I'm talking cutting-edge treatments that accelerate your own body's healing properties, revitalizing your joints so you can move again. It's not sorcery, it's technology, and you don't need surgery. Call QC Kinetics. The local professionals at QC Kinetics in Greenfield and in Mequon are ready to help you. Here's the phone number, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation. 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
Traffic is sponsored by Kowal Investment Group, the retirement specialists. Retire well with Kowal.
Our team of fiduciary advisors are here to help you retire well with our streamlined retirement process. Give us a call today at 262-522-4040 or visit us at thekowalway.com.
Let's get an update on your morning drive. Good morning, Debbie.
Good morning, Vince. We've got a little bit of a backup right now from 27th Street on 894 westbound all the way out to 68th. That's through the construction zone. The rest of the system's still looking pretty good. Nice and quiet out there. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Another great-looking day for this Monday. Plenty of sunshine, just a small chance for a pop-up shower. Storm inland with high temperatures near 80. Tonight, mostly clear skies, low temperatures in the 60s. A better chance for widespread showers and thunderstorms Tuesday afternoon and evening as a cold front moves towards us. It will be a warm and humid day with high temperatures in the lower 80s. Behind that front, some cooler temperatures for Wednesday. We'll see some rain showers during the morning hours come to an end. High temperatures in the upper 70s. More 70s for Thursday with mostly sunny skies. And upper 70s on Friday with mostly sunny conditions. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
65 your temp in Milwaukee. At 6:41 this Monday morning, I want to get you some more information on a mass shooting in a Milwaukee park. You have a 17-year-old girl who was killed early this morning. 9 other people injured, and this was not an event, or at least it was not a scheduled event. They're calling it an impromptu car party. One of these things where the word gets out on social media or other ways and say, hey, everybody's meeting up here. And so you had a bunch of cars late at night. I mean, the park's closed already. And they met up, some sort of fight ensued, and then you had shots fired. So 10 people hit by gunfire in all. That 17-year-old girl killed 9 others injured in that. Deneen Park is like far west side of Milwaukee, about 76th and Capitol is one of the borders, bordered on the south by Burleigh, if you know that area. So it's a busy and popular park. But again, this all happened at about 12:30 in the morning, so the park would already have been closed. See, I'll get you this from the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office. 15-year-old male, 5 18-year-old females, 2 18-year-old males, all involved. 8 victims in stable condition, one of the 18-year-olds in critical condition. 2 homes around that area were hit by gunfire as well. And investigators say they're working to identify and locate a suspect or suspects as well as motive. But again, it sounds like you just had a large number of people there. Things got out of control, and then shots began ringing out.
One young woman was trampled, says the sheriff's office. Going to be okay, but ran over.
I don't have an indication of how many people were all there at the time, but it sounds like a big gathering, right? And that's, when cruising was a big issue along Capitol Drive, that was another thing where like word would get out like, hey, we're cruising tonight, and then you just have a mass of people because word would travel fast, and then everybody wanted to be where the action was. And so that sounds like that's how this all began in this park, about 76th and Capitol Drive overnight. So still developing, and as the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office said, they are still working on identifying a suspect or suspects. 6:43 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Big savings are here, thanks to Senator Dan Fine. He helped cut property taxes by $11 billion, making home ownership more affordable. That's not all. His efforts slashed income and franchise taxes by nearly $17 billion. Call 608-266-5300 and thank Senator Fine for keeping your money where it belongs, in your wallet. Remember, when your money's on the line, you can count on Senator Dan Fine. Paid for by the Wisconsin Realtors Advocacy Fund.
It's Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Rewards Member Appreciation Event. While we offer unbeatable deals every day, now through July 31st, we're showing extra appreciation to our rewards members with exclusive deals. Like 40-pound bags of Blaine's Black Oil Sunflower Seeds, $17.99. Rewards members save an extra $2. Assorted Hillman Hardware, 20% off for rewards members. Get $3 reward savings on select Blaine's brand dog food. Not a rewards member? Sign up today. Don't miss our rewards member appreciation event going on now at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
Green Bay Packers kick off training camp today. A little bit earlier than usual because we've got the international game coming up to start the season. So we get to start training camp a little bit earlier than everybody else. 10:30 open practice at Ray Nitschke Field, preceded by a great Green Bay tradition, the kids offering up their bikes for players to ride over to practice.
It's really fun because you get to talk to the people, the NFL players, and it's really fun, and you get to know them and talk to them.
Thanks, man, for coming. Yep. Have a good one.
And I got Ennis Gaines. What?
Want gloves?
Sure. And he's going to ride my bike back again.
I can't get enough of this
awesome.
kid. I found a NBC 26 News report out of Green Bay a year or two ago at training camp, and this little girl was just over the moon.
Awesome.
She got picked by one of the players to have her bike ride down there. So talk about that little one in a previous year's camp. Also today, the annual shareholders meeting. That is this afternoon following practice. Team President Mark Murphy always has a gem or two.
Here's the reality. We have a lot of noon home games. We're a shitty team.
It was from my first owners meeting, Eric, that I attended in 2022. Well, Packers have 8 noon starts on the schedule, so I don't know as it stands right now. Some of those can change and move.
They'll change.
I don't know what that tells you. Still waiting on the big announcement. When will Jordan Love get a contract extension, a new long-term deal? General Manager Brian Gutekunst today expected to offer details on an extension with defensive lineman Kenny Clark, senior statesman on the defense. NFL.com's Ian Rappaport saying that it's a 3-year deal at $64 million, but no one's going to want to talk about that. Yeah, but what about the Jordan Love? I'm not talking about Jordan Love.
Well, get it done then.
Right, then get it done.
In Minnesota,
have yourself a weekend.
Jackson Chourio is on fire.
1-0. Drill deep to left. Watch this baby. Way back. Way gone. Second deck. Game-tying home run. Jackson Chourio. Have yourself a weekend at Target Field.
Oh, my gosh. 8-7 the final. So, dude would go 5 for 9 in the series. A double, a homer, 2 stolen bases, 3 runs scored, 5 RBIs. Chourio also had a big catch on Sunday. He ended the game with one on Saturday.
And the first pitch to him is lined out towards left. Coming over is Chourio. Diving catch. And this ball game is in the books. Jackson Jackson Churio, full extension, hauls it in, and the Brewers take down the Twins 8-4.
So speaking of contracts, Pat Murphy brought up Churios on Sunday. Said they got that kid for cheap. 8 years, 80-some million. He deserves $150 million, says Murph. So well done, Matt Arnold and staff.
General Manager Matt Arnold stole one again.
It's amazing how often they've been able to pull that off. Up next, the Cubs. 3-game series at Wrigley starting tonight. Now, speaking of the Cubs, Craig Counsell, of course, is the manager of the Northsiders there. I thought you'd enjoy this. A little frustrated by a question that he was asked by ESPN's Jesse Rogers after their game.
7th inning with Morrell. There's a tying run at second. He's looked like he was swinging for the lake there. I don't know. What do you think about some of those?
Come on, Jesse. Come on. That's your comment?
Well, yeah, I'm wondering about.
I think that's a bad take. I think that's a bad take. He's swinging for the lake. That's a bad take. It's a bad take.
Why is that?
Why?
Why is that a bad
He's
take?
having a good at bat trying to hit the ball hard. It didn't work. The pitcher made a good pitch. He made an out.
Okay.
You know what? I kind of agree with Counts on this one a little bit, that it was a strange question to ask. Hey, your dude was swinging for the fences, it looks like. What do you think? Like, how is he supposed to react to that?
I'm just sitting back here with my popcorn,
right? No, I get it.
and enjoying.
All right, pregame for the game tonight around 6 o'clock. First pitch 7:05 right here on WTMJ.
Cubs are 10 games back of the Brewers right now. A lot of baseball to play.
But who knows? Maybe they're buyers.
Right.
Whatever.
6:49 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Creative Planning presents Rethink Your Money with John Hagenson, Saturday afternoon at 1. Creative Planning is a wealth management firm that believes in a total approach to building wealth that includes taxes, insurance, estate planning, and other personalized elements. This approach allows you to receive advice that is aligned with your unique goals and always in your best interests. Why not give your wealth a second look? Visit creativeplanning.com.
When I think of the word precision, I think of Tadpole and Craig. Oh, you don't know Tadpole and Craig? Well, you should. They're like world-class musicians, except instead of a tuba, they use a tape measure. In lieu of a lute, they labor in lumber. And the only band they know is a bandsaw. Yes, Tadpole and Craig are prodigies of precision when building log cabins and barns. But when it comes to the quartet of plumbing, electric, heating, and air, old Tadpole and Craig can't hold a candelabra to the masterful maestros at Mr. Holland's Home Services. If your drains are clogged, if your air ducts are dirty, if your water heater is nothing more than a water holder, and if your AC stops singing its summer song, call Mr. Holland's Home Services. We provide the perfect harmony of service and installation to keep your house humming. Call 866-992-1717 or visit MrHollandsHomeservices.com. If your home is out of tune, we can help.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for Landworks, the locally owned landscape company. They'll elevate the look of your home or your business. They're doing that at our house. Landworks is different because of the customer service. I can tell you firsthand, from beginning to end, you have one person who's your initial point of contact all the way through the process. LandworksWisconsin.com. Get started today. They'll take your yard, make it more beautiful. They'll take your beautiful yard and elevate it even more. It's LandworksWisconsin.com. They do it the right way at Landworks.
Sendik's limited time Hatch Pepper event is back. Order your fresh or roasted Hatch peppers now at sendix.com/hatch.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Traffic sponsored by Sendik's Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926, 651. Happy Monday to you, Debbie Lazago.
Happy Monday, Eric. We got a little bit of a backup westbound 94 now, just west of 27th Street through to Mitchell Boulevard. Westbound on 894, also slowing down from 27th Street to Loomis. Northbound 43, couple taps of the brakes, basically between Locust and Keefe. Nothing major, but just a few taps of the brakes. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic.
The forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Should be a nice day today. Sunny, a high of 80. There's a slight chance for a pop-up shower inland. Tonight, clear, 66. Tuesday, scattered storms are likely tomorrow, high of 83. Wednesday, chance for rain mainly in the morning, a high of 77. Thursday, sunny 76. Friday, sunny 79. Right now in Milwaukee, it's 66 at 6:52.
6:52 on Wisconsin's Morning News. This is on the list of songs that were ringing in my head for that whole week of the RNC. Heard it a million times. God love him, but I don't need to hear from Lee Greenwood for a while. I love that song, but dang.
You pull back. You're right.
A lot of that. Coming up at the top of the hour, Vice President Kamala Harris due to visit Milwaukee tomorrow. Obviously, with an entirely different landscape ahead as President Biden has ended his bid for re-election. We've got that coming up right at the top of the hour, 7 o'clock. And then at 7:10, a telling interview that WTMJ's Libby Collins had with Florida Senator Marco Rubio when he was here for the RNC. What he was predicting even at the time here in Milwaukee and what he thinks ought to happen now that President Biden is out of the race. That's all coming up in our next hour. That conversation happening, of course, during the RNC. And I want to kind of tie a ribbon around that event here this Monday morning. Barricades and the fencing are gone. Milwaukee has its downtown back. And it's a good thing because we got a lot of stuff going on this week. Right now, everything is in play. There is hardly an event that Milwaukee will not try to get, having great success with the Republican National Convention. There will be hard data on how many people actually did visit, on how much money we actually did see coming into our local economy.
We've already met with the host committee. We are working with Oxford Economics to put together an economic impact survey. Typically takes anywhere from maybe 90 days to put it together, and we'll begin to look at what was spent here and how it affected the economy.
Let's visit Milwaukee President and CEO Peggy Williams-Smith, joining us just hours after the RNC gavelled out here on Wisconsin's Morning News. Want to revisit a few significant things that she shared with us beyond that, which is, yes, there will be hard data we're going to actually study. Now that we've all sort of gotten some sleep and the event is in the books, we've been building toward this particular event really since we began courting the DNC pre-COVID. Peggy told us that once we secured that bid for the DNC, Visit Milwaukee began using that to court other events. Now we have an even better story to tell, and we'll go after everything.
We started when we secured the DNC. So we'll just continue, and now we'll be able to say that we executed a convention, which is going to be better for us. There's really nothing we won't go after unless it requires a football stadium. That's the only thing we can't really go after.
Because we don't have one, right? Okay.
Correct. Yes. And with winterizing of American Family Field, there are more events that we'll be able to bring to Milwaukee in the off season in that stadium.
It really did work out flawlessly in many ways for those that were part of the actual convention.
Mm-hmm.
Now, outside, someone might say something differently, but as far as the footprint, just the space, the breathability, the usage of the Baird Center, the High Life Theater.
Their
the
close
UW
proximity.
Yeah, they're all walkable
Right?
on a beautiful week. I mean, it really worked out well.
Baird Center goes right into the theater, right next to the arena. Then right down the street, then you have Fiserv Forum, which was the main venue. Like, think about what they're dealing with in Chicago. The convention floor is at the United Center. I have to think a lot of the build out, the stuff that we saw here in Milwaukee, would be McCormick Place, right?
Yeah, it'd be a lot more difficult to.
That ain't walkable, folks. So, like, you're going to have all sorts of traffic and shuttle buses and things like that. So, I agree with you. We pulled that part off great. Not everything went perfect. Visit Milwaukee's Peggy Williams-Smith telling us, some businesses did not get in on the action.
I've heard from several business owners that this was the best week they've had. I've heard from business owners who called me and said they were 20% down. This is a long game. It's not just these 5 days. This convention has created economic impact starting over 18 months ago. So it wasn't these 4 days alone that we're looking at, because that doesn't show or paint the entire picture.
So there's going to be a full evaluation of how that played out. Could we have done things better? What did we learn? And what do we know if we stage something huge like this again in the future? What do we get next? For sure, we got to get an NBA All-Star game.
Boy, you'd think so.
That was promised to us anyway. And now that we have this demonstration, it's laughable to think the NBA is like, well, hotels, whatever. We put 50,000 people here. We got them in and around.
But some were staying in Madison. Some were staying in Sheboygan. They weren't all staying here in Milwaukee proper.
Okay, but you have it in New York, for example. And if you're staying in Jersey, it'll take you an hour to get to the venue anyway.
Fair enough.
Even though you could probably see it from here to there. I know.
Good point.
I've driven in New York traffic, which is not wise. So, right, maybe it's geographically further out, but probably the same amount of time. The coming weeks and months will reveal a full accounting of the success and the shortcomings of hosting this huge event in the city. The coming years will reveal whether the promise of this increased visibility yields more visitors, more conventions, more events, and more business for Milwaukee and Southeast Wisconsin. 6:57 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Water wars may be underway in Racine County. The village of Mount Pleasant alleges Racine City Waterworks refuses to extend service near the new Microsoft data center and files a complaint with the Public Service Commission. A new attraction for Harley-Davidson's homecoming starting Thursday, guided tours of Harley's historic headquarters on Milwaukee's west side. The first 1,000 attendees each day get a historical coin. GE Healthcare extends its artificial intelligence capabilities with a $50 million acquisition of Intelligent Ultrasound Group's clinical AI business. I'm Rich Kirchin with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
This report is sponsored by Diamonds Direct. Your love, their passion.
You're not going to want to miss this. Diamonds Direct summer sale starts this weekend. For 3 days only, this Friday through Sunday, get 20% off rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, and more. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. And designers are flying in from New York and LA to showcase their latest trends. That's 20% off, plus $100 off with an appointment and designer trunk shows. Tons of engagement rings on sale, too. 20% off starts Friday. Details at diamondsdirect.com. 3 days only and Sunday.
Celebrate 42 years of tradition at Milwaukee's original house party. Join us on Milwaukee's beautiful lakefront, July 26th, 27th, and 28th for authentic German food, music, beer, and dancing. Experience the excitement of the Glockenspiel, Dachshund Culture Village, Mardi Gras Show, Trauchenschau, Sheep's Head Tournament, and much more. For more information, tickets, and admission discounts, visit GermanFest.com. Don't miss the fun. See you at GermanFest. Holla!
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Time for another new coat of paint on your house? Get Rhino Shield ceramic coating. You won't have to paint again for 25 years guaranteed. Right now, get $1,500 off with 12 months same as cash financing. Visit RhinoShieldWIS.com.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
It's Heiser's Red, White, and Blue event. Service or upgrade your ride today with star-spangled discounts you deserve. Let our certified technicians get your current ride road trip ready for July festivities. Or work with our sales consultants to find the perfect new vehicle for all your summer destinations. Plus, enjoy our exclusive Safe and Sound program with every vehicle sale. See details and offers at Heiser.com and celebrate your independence today. At Heiser, today's your day.
See dealer for complete details.
Get started with your no-hassle refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com.
Trusted, relevant, locally owned, locally programmed. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
7 o'clock, I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News, July 22nd. Our top story, a major pivot for the Democrats and Republicans.
I'm Erik. Bilstad. A mass shooting turns deadly in a Milwaukee park.
I'm Debbie Laziga, northbound on 43, backing up from North Avenue all the way up to Keefe. Got westbound on 94, slowing down from 35th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. And then on westbound 894, slowing from 27th Street just to about Loomis. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Storm team forecast for today. Pretty nice, mostly sunny, high of 80 degrees. Just a chance of a pop-up shower away from Lake Michigan. And tonight, mostly clear skies and a low of 66. Right now, Milwaukee at 67 degrees. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, reaction coming in from around the world after President Joe Biden announced Sunday he is not seeking re-election.
At the recent NATO summit, Keir Starmer said after his one-on-one with Joe Biden, he was sharp. Now, that same prime minister says he respects the president's decision. Elsewhere, Germany's Olaf Scholz, whose party recently came in a dismal third in EU elections, was quick to praise the man who said Nord Stream 2 would not come online. Elsewhere in Russia, questions persist as to whether the decision was in fact voluntary. Tom Rivers, ABC News at the Foreign Desk.
The newly named Harris Campaign Committee says it had a record-breaking fundraising effort on Sunday, just hours after President Biden announced he was dropping his re-election bid. The VP will be in Milwaukee on Tuesday for a campaign event. It was previously scheduled, and as of now, it is still taking place. It'll be her first since the announcement from President Biden. No word yet on where or when that will take place.
Republicans have suggested that President Biden's announcement could spark lawsuits from the GOP, challenging Democrats changing up state ballots. But ABC's Stephen Portnoy tells Wisconsin's Morning News he doesn't believe there's any merit to those suggestions.
I do know that there was a lot of talk about the possibility, but it seems to me that if the Democrats can get their ducks in a row and nominate someone, be it Harris or anybody else, by a certain state's deadline, that gets ahead of that.
Legal experts have argued that since the Democratic Party's candidate isn't officially set until they've been formally nominated at the convention, laws about changing the nominee would not apply in this case.
Supporters of President Biden here in Milwaukee have mixed feelings on whether the timing of the decision will impact Democrats' chances of keeping the White House.
Biden supporter Tom Maloney, while mowing his grass in Milwaukee's East Side, says he's not concerned with the timing. In fact, in recent weeks, he wanted Biden to drop out.
He was just at the point where he couldn't handle it. I mean, there was so much potential against his opponent, and I don't think he was able to take advantage of it.
On the flip side, there's Todd Ferris, who proudly displays a Biden-Harris sign in the front yard of his Milwaukee home. He's worried about the race coming up so quickly.
Concerned that the whole process makes it more likely that Trump will win, and I'm anyone but Trump.
Harriet McKinney, a homeowner in Sherman Park, says the timing is in God's hands.
It's hard to say goodbye to yesterday. He was the man for the hour. He defeated Donald Trump.
Jessica Ty, WTMJ News.
Think about this, too. It's just a little over a week ago that someone tried to kill former President Trump. And there's all sorts of stuff we still need to learn about that. U.S. Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle is due to testify before a congressional committee today about that failed attempt on the former president's life.
House Oversight Chairman James Comer says Monday's hearing will be the beginning of the process to get answers for the American people about the assassination attempt against former President Trump at a Pennsylvania rally, including how the gunman made it on top of a roof. Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle says her agency is reviewing its actions. More than a dozen congressional Republicans and at least one Democrat have called on Director Cheadle to resign. Nicole Killian, CBS News, Washington.
Here in Milwaukee, a teenage girl is dead and 9 others are injured after what's being called a mass shooting overnight in Milwaukee's Deneen Park. TMJ4's Sydney Orr is there.
Witnesses and investigators say a large group of teens were here at Deneen Park for what they're calling an impromptu car party. We're told an argument broke out in the parking lot around 12:30 a.m. that led to those shots being fired. 2 homes were also hit by gunfire, apparently related to this incident, but no injuries were reported at either of those homes.
Police are still searching for suspects.
Coming up, chasing storms and big box office dollars. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:05.
This report sponsored by Pella of Wisconsin. Discover Pella now, pay later at PellaWI.com.
Wow, Wayne, that is a beautiful window.
It sure is, Jeff. It really tackles energy efficiency.
Sure has a nice slide.
It's one of the best screenplays I've ever seen.
They're so easy to close. I'd say it's a grand slam.
If you guys keep making those dad jokes, you're going to be a real pain in my neck.
Oh, that's a good one. Did you hear about this one?
Well, those two go on and on. Let me share something that is not a joke. Order today from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and pay as low as $18 per window and $81 per patio door per month. The installation is completed with no mess and no hassle, leaving nothing but perfect results. A new patio door or front door makes for the perfect backstop. How was that one, guys? Ugh, they're gone. Jeff and Wayne love doing the Irish goodbye. Anyway, moving on from the dad jokes, don't miss this great deal from Pella. Get as low as $18 per window and $81 per patio door per month. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply at 7/31/2024.
So the body knows that it needs to heal itself, but it doesn't know how to concentrate it and target it into just one area. So that's where we come in.
By we, Dr. Ashley Caravelli means the nation's leader in regenerative medicine.
QC Kinetics.
We put in those treatments, then it sends out like little signalers to your body. We're able to make the body focus on the areas that need the most healing.
QC Kinetics has gathered brilliant medical minds like Dr. Caravelli and Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, a pioneer in the field of regenerative medicine, to lead the way in these innovative pain treatments.
So at QC Kinetics, we have a whole team working nationwide with cutting-edge research to reach our patients and treat them and know that surgery is no longer their only option.
The consultation is free. Find out if you're a candidate. Call QC Kinetics today.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
We're Ted and Pam, owners of Church and Chapel Funeral Homes here in town.
Our family, serving your family.
Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. There's one near you.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:08.
Packers open training camp today, and the Brewers head to Chicago. We got sports at 7:15.
Taking a look at Wisconsin's unemployment numbers.
Governor Tony Evers declared 2024 the year of the worker, and the Badger State is seeing record highs for employment this summer. The latest Bureau of Labor Statistics data shows Wisconsin's seasonally adjusted unemployment rate was 2.9% in June. That's more than a full percentage point below the national unemployment rate of 4.1%. The total number of people employed in Wisconsin also hit a new high, over 3,048,000 non-farm jobs. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Moviegoers made Storm Chasers into a blockbuster this weekend.
Guys, whatever's in there, it's big and it's moving fast.
They ran toward the tornadoes at movie box offices this weekend. Twisters with a blockbuster opening. $80.5 million in ticket sales in North America, say studio estimates. A sequel to the 1996 hit Twister with different characters.
Look up. Yeah.
Universal also had the #2 movie, Despicable Me 4, in 3 weeks, grabbing over $259 million domestically. Inside Out 2 3rd, Long Legs 4th. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
I'm sorry, man. The Minions still get me every time.
Still get you.
Bang, bang.
They should go see the movie.
Right. I don't know if I need to do that.
Hold on, Bilstad.
7:09 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Cheese doodles, Mr. Nougat Bar. Oh, here we go. 4-door hatchback.
Some things are fine to buy from a vending machine, but a car's not one of them. That national online company makes it seem convenient, but it won't be so convenient if you have a problem with the vehicle you buy. And if it's after 7 days, good luck. Adam member dealers also let you search online, plus test drive the vehicle before you buy it. And they're right here to handle any issues.
What? The car's stuck. No!
Start your search at adamm.com.
He's making us, his people, into what his Father promised we would become, a light for a world that is crying for help. Jesus came to make God's light shine on us so that in us, all people might see the face of God.
Dr. Michael Ziegler asks, who will come to know God this week because of you? A message about connecting others to God through our connections to them. This week on the Lutheran Hour.
Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
Traffic is sponsored by Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
Checking in with Debbie here at 7:10.
Okay, things rolling along pretty well. East and westbound 94, pretty clear right now. No major delays at all. Westbound on 894 is going to be a bit backed up from 27th Street, but just to Loomis. After that, it opens up. You're looking good. 43 is cleared up as well. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. More beautiful weather for today. Mostly sunny skies. Only the small chance for a pop-up shower or storm inland, mainly towards western Wisconsin. High temperatures near 80 for today. Tonight, mostly clear skies. Low temperatures in the 60s. On Tuesday, we do have a better chance for scattered showers and storms during the afternoon and evening hours. High temperatures in the lower 80s. You'll also notice more humidity across the area. Behind that front, some cooler conditions for Wednesday will be stuck in the 70s with a chance for showers during the morning hours, becoming dry in the afternoon. Thursday, we'll look for more sunshine, high temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. More upper 70s on Friday with mostly sunny skies. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
64 in Milwaukee.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
This morning, Vice President Kamala Harris, she does have an event scheduled at the White House. It will be her first public appearance for the VP since Sunday's announcement. She's received the endorsement of President Biden, who said Sunday he's out. He's no longer seeking re-election. And of course, the vice president due in Milwaukee tomorrow.
So today at the White House, she's celebrating what, NCAA basketball team?
Yes, one of these things that was already on the schedule. They bring the championship teams to the White House.
Do you mention what happened over the weekend?
So anyway, how was y'all's weekend? Right. So yeah, that's that, but not really expected to be a campaign-style event. This visit to Milwaukee was previously announced. We don't have any information yet on where she's going to visit, with whom, or even what times. We expect guidance on that at some point today. Meanwhile, some Republicans, including House Speaker Mike Johnson, already suggesting that President Biden ought not finish his term. You had the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Washington today, due to address Congress, Wednesday?
Mm-hmm. Hey, at one point, he was supposed to meet the president today.
You would think.
But with the COVID situation and everything else, don't know anymore.
So, I mean, he's now officially dealing with a lame duck presidency, as are any other world leaders. So Republicans pouncing sort of on this inter-party turmoil, they were on that message already last week here in Milwaukee. WTMJ's Libby Collins caught up with Florida Senator Marco Rubio, who was said for a while to be on the short list for VP. I want to play you a piece of that conversation. Again, this is last week here at the Republican National Convention.
Candidate's the easier part. President's the hard part. And so if he doesn't have the mental acuity to be the candidate, how can he be the president? And I think you have to ask, really, I'm serious, guys. We have to ask the Democrats. They knew the condition this guy was in, and they covered it up. And the only reason why they stopped covering it up is because they couldn't cover it up anymore. They had a debate, and the whole country saw it.
So you heard a couple of talking points in there that you can hear a lot more of. That they knew, and that this is a mess of their own making, and they lied to the American people. That's one of those things that they're going to hit on. And then the other one, just that, if the president doesn't seem fit to run or continue his campaign, he ought to step down. I don't know that call is going to get that much broader.
And he's not going to step down.
Right. And politically, I don't know what advantage that serves them. You could almost argue that it would be better for the vice president's candidacy if she, in fact, is the nominee, to have a few months as president.
After all this, though, there's one thing you'll never hear me say ever again. Debates don't matter.
It's absolutely true. To my earlier point, I want to play this one other thing for you about world leaders. Senator Rubio does touch on that here as well.
And, part of you feels bad for the guy, I don't know why. Like, if that was my family member, I'd go and say, look, maybe it's time. You know what I mean? It's clear, it's sad, but it's also dangerous. Like, they saw that debate in Beijing. They saw that debate in Tehran. You think they're more scared of us or less scared of us with him in charge? So it's a bad situation all around, and it's also very undemocratic.
So he goes on to make the point then right after that you had primaries and caucuses in every U.S. state and territory, and Americans chose President Biden to be their nominee. It's not clear what process the Democrats will follow now in selecting a nominee. They don't have to, they can pick whoever they want. Mm-hmm. But is it just going to be, it's going to be VP Harris, period, done, end of story? Or are there going to be other names that say, no, how about me? We want to have we want to broker this out.
That could still happen.
And they're actually supposed to officially nominate someone before their convention, which isn't until mid-August. So that's supposed to be within the next week or two.
Yeah, it was delayed because of everything happening with Biden.
So a lot in terms of how they will manage that, still unclear this morning. 7:15 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Every great Midwest bank branch has document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Michael Quizon is IT Systems Administrator. Michael, the bank has a slogan.
We are called Simply Local. We're a Simply Local bank.
And your business technology company, James Imaging Systems, has been a 100% locally owned and managed company right here in Wisconsin for over 40 years.
They're more like a partner to us.
In what way?
We call on them at any point, they're there. We ask them any questions that we have, they're there.
James Imaging Systems, document imaging technology, and local service and support.
We can get our printers up and running right away if we have any issues. We can do our business without any downtime at all.
The benefit to Great Midwest Bank?
Efficient operations, time savings on my end. There's no other partner that we can bring on.
Start your partnership with James Imaging Systems today. Call 262-781-7700. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Join an unforgettable weekend of summer fun when the Brewers play the Marlins July 26th through the 28th. Be here for Yacht Rock Night on Friday and a Hawaiian shirt giveaway Saturday. Get your seats at Brewers.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Erik, Bilstad, and Vince Vitrano.
Green Bay Packers open training camp in Green Bay today. No new deal reported of yet for quarterback Jordan Love. Packers did announce a contract extension for defensive lineman Kenny Clark. General Manager Brian Gutekunst expected to discuss details of that deal later this morning. Reported in multiple places, it's a 3-year deal, and he's going to be around. Clark, one of the senior statesmen on the defense. Meanwhile, kids get the bikes ready for the ride from Lambeau to Nitschke Field, just across Oneida Street in Green Bay.
And you start to not even think of him as really a player. You just kind of look at him as a friend.
I get a little nervous, but it's fun because they're interactive.
It was exciting because I was like one of the last people, and I thought I wasn't going to get picked, and I was really nervous.
But then they picked me, and it was so great. I love that kid right
That's
there.
awesome.
NBC 26 News out of Green Bay talking with the kids at an earlier training camp. Players continuing the tradition today of riding the bikes over to practice. The practice is open to the public today. It's supposed to start at 10:30, followed by the annual shareholders meeting. Okay, this is the Packers treasurer right now giving the financial update. Treasurer's report. Seen a lot of people head for the concession stand at this point. Not too interested in the math. This is when I attended my first owners meeting, Eric, in 2022. There is some actual business that takes place. The board of directors is there. They do various gaveling in and whatever business they have to conduct.
Nuts and bolts stuff. I like it.
Yeah. So you also hear from General Manager Brian Gutekunst, President Mark Murphy, among others.
Brewers head to the north side, take on the Cubs tonight after a big weekend.
1-0. Drilled deep to left. Watch this baby. Way back. Way gone. Second deck. Game-tying home run. Jackson Chourio. Have yourself a weekend at Target Field.
Yeah, holy cow. Jackson Chourio, a bomb, a double, and 3 RBIs in Sunday's game. 8-7 the win over the Twins. Pat Murphy says Brewers got this guy cheap. For the next 8 years, $80 million, that's nothing. He deserves double, said Murphy. Through the 2 games, he went 5 for 9 in this series. A double, a homer, 2 stolen bases, 3 runs scored, 5 RBI. How about that?
Live in stereo with my main man, Jackson Chourio.
Up next for the crew, like I said, a trip to Chicago. It starts tonight to take on the bumbling Cubs. First pitch, 7:05. Game starts at 6, or a pregame at 6:05 right here on WTMJ.
How the Cubs doing right now? Pretty good?
Last place.
Yeah, 10 games back of the Brewers. 7:19 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Have yourself a weekend.
It's like playing baseball in the house.
Mom, Dad broke the window.
Without the risk of...
Again.
That. Every Thursday at 8:40, play virtual baseball on Wisconsin's Morning News. Step up to the virtual plate and test your mettle against the best.
Swing and a drive to right.
It's virtual baseball, presented by Siding Unlimited. Only played here on WTMJ.
How do you know it's time to get your parking lot redone? Vince Vitrano here for Johnson & Sons Paving. They can answer that question for you in person when you get a no-obligation quote on your commercial or residential project. Here are a few starters for you. If you've got faded asphalt in the color, crumbling in the edges, standing water and sinking pavement, some of these should probably go without saying, widening cracks, warping or buckling. Point is, if you see signs of damage and fatigue, it's probably even more serious than you think. It's time to get the experts out there to fix it. It's certainly not going to get better on its own, but it will get worse. So these are the folks we recommend. Trust this local, family-owned company. They'll give you an honest assessment, and then, of course, great work behind it. No obligation. Just give them a call. Tell them Vinny sent you. They love to hear that. Get your questions answered. Plenty of Johnsons over there. No subcontractors. JohnsonandSonsPaving.com.
You know this already. Inflation is sticky. You see it on the news. You feel it at the grocery store. It's the involuntary pay cut no one wants and that we can't seem to shake. Annex Wealth Management wants to help. Now is the time to download 7 strategies you can use in an environment with elevated inflation. Learn how real assets can help, which tax-efficient strategies to consider, and one way to increase Social Security benefits. It's a free download and available now. Go to annexwealth.com/inflation.
It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores. Get sale discounts store-wide all month long. What a great time to shop for all of your Christmas needs. Get your holiday decor and so much more, along with all the great bargains we always have for you. It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
7:21, let's get an update on your morning drive. Debbie.
Hey, it's looking pretty good right now, Vince. Just a quick tap of the brakes coming out of the Stadium interchange on westbound 94, just to about 60th Street. We got westbound 894 a little backed up from 27th Street to about Loomis. Everything else seems to be rolling along just fine. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast, mostly sunny skies and a high of 80 degrees today. Just a chance of a shower popping up away from Lake Michigan. Mostly clear and a low of 66 tonight. Scattered storms likely on Tuesday with a high of 83 degrees. Wednesday, high 77 with a chance of showers mainly in the morning. Mostly sunny skies both Thursday and Friday with temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. Right now, 64 in Milwaukee.
Happy Monday!
It's time to look at the week ahead.
What a Monday morning.
What a week it is going to be. Holy cow, name the thing, and it's happening this week.
This segment's been extended by 10 minutes, just so we can tell you all of the things.
Debbie's going to have to do traffic in the middle of it, and then we'll have to continue.
Yes, then we'll take a short break. We'll come back with the rest.
The EAA Air Venture in Oshkosh kicks off today. Grab your plane, head up north, and enjoy the festivities. You're going to be there today.
Heading up there today.
Lambeau Field's going to be busy as the Packers shareholder meeting takes place. Camp getting underway for the Green Bay Packers. The director of the Secret Service, Kimberly Cheadle, is going to appear before a House hearing to discuss the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump today. So that should be a juicy back and forth, I would imagine. President Biden was to meet with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu today. Not sure if that's going to still take place, though, given his COVID situation. Been trying to effort that. Northwestern Mutual's annual meeting is this week in Milwaukee. You've probably already noticed. Lots of reps from across the country are here for that. On Tuesday...
Geez, that's just today.
Milwaukee will be the political focal point once again. Kamala Harris comes to Milwaukee. Now, as of now, this is likely the VP's first campaign appearance since the announcement from President Biden that he is not going to run for re-election. So I don't have a lot of details of where or when, but she is going to be here tomorrow, and that will be a big speech. Lots of people will be paying attention to that one. The post office going to commemorate Jeopardy's host Alex Trebek with a forever stamp, honoring the former host's birthday. Also the host of Jeopardy, of course, for like 80 years. On Wednesday, Netanyahu is going to address Congress to talk about the war against Hamas. It's also Milwaukee Night Market on the west side, of course. On Thursday, oh, here come the Harleys. Harley Davidson. Yep, there it is. Thank you. Harley Davidson Homecoming starts Thursday. Of course, bands are going to play at Veterans Park over the weekend. We got the Red Hots, Jelly Roll, Hardy, Offspring, Cypress Hill, amongst the many.
Yeah, the Jelly Roll Friday and Red Hot Chili Peppers on Saturday.
Yeah, so that's all taking place, so that's exciting. Comic-Con International at the San Diego Convention Hall there, the annual event for comic book, film, and TV enthusiasts. That happens.
It's the only thing happening not in Milwaukee.
Yes.
Everything
else is happening right here. Also taking place this weekend. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Jawohl.
German Fest begins. One of the largest German festivals in North America. German Fest Milwaukee, known for its authentic food, culture, and entertainment. You bring the family, raise a stein, poke the night away, and make it your tradition. What do you think of that?
You know, Usingers makes a German Fest brat.
Okay.
That they only do in and around German Fest. It's pretty tasty.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay, also on Friday, if you don't want to do that, the Olympics, all eyes on Paris. All eyes.
On.
The world turns its attention to Paris for the opening ceremony. Now, the Olympics actually start Wednesday. Some rugby games and a soccer game going to take place early, so they don't actually wait until Friday to get going. But here we go.
So do we say the Olympics start on Friday or no?
Or the opening ceremonies, you could say, right?
I feel like
so. Is that fair?
Okay, fine.
So we'll go with that. We'll say the opening ceremonies. Then on Saturday, Milwaukee Brew Fest at McKinley Park. Taste your way through unlimited pours at McKinley there.
Where are they going to put that?
It's at McKinley. I don't know how they're going to squeeze that in there, but it's in there. The famous Racing Sausages Run Walk is also Saturday. And if that was not enough, guess what's happening next? Yes, the Milwaukee Air and Water Show is this weekend as well. It just continues. Name the thing, and it's happening. At the movies, it's Deadpool and Wolverine blasting their way into the theaters. We'll see if they can take on Twisters, which has done fairly well.
Yeah, what did we say? $80 million? That's a pretty solid.
That's a good start for Twisters
these days, right?
That was a quality summer flick. When you have something like that,
like
it's
perfect,
it's
right?
a thriller. It's got CGI. It's got scary stuff. It's got, I'm sure, some kind of romantic interlude in there.
Of course. If they only would have listened to this guy.
Yes. That's your weekend and your week ahead.
Everybody caught up? News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average. I'm sure we forgot something, right?
No, that was
no,
everything.
That was all the things?
There's no way I missed anything. There's no way possible. Right?
Dow Jones Industrial Average left things at 40,288. That tumbled another 378 points. The NASDAQ down about 145 in trading on Friday to 17,727. The S&P 500 closed at 5505. That was off about 40 points. Get an honest opinion of where you are financially and where you're headed. Work with a fee-only fiduciary. Start at annexwealth.com. Welcome to The Knowledge Brokers, a weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance market and how it affects Wisconsin businesses and residents. It's sponsored by the original Knowledge Broker, R&R Insurance. And joining us today, Jeff Salasinski, Vice President of Insurance Operations. Jeff, last time you were here, we had some pretty awful storms. That really hasn't changed. Here we are again. Entire Midwest has just been plagued with severe weather.
Yeah, you're right, Vince. Some of these Midwestern storms have been off the charts. The destruction, power outages, roof damage, uprooted trees, structures completely lost, and some of the wildfires out west have been extreme. When this devastation occurs, the last thing you want to discover is that you're not properly insured. Not being adequately insured can significantly strain your finances or in some cases destroy you financially.
So what should property owners be doing to protect themselves, Jeff?
Well, it's not complicated. Your home's value has likely increased, and the cost to repair it or rebuild it has too. You need to determine if your limit insurance is enough. Chances are it's too low. We see it all the time. In fact, it's almost a certainty that your premiums are up, your deductible has been increased, and the coverage for your roof has been pulled back.
Well, shouldn't your insurance agent be talking about all this stuff with you?
Yes, they should. And if they're not, you're with the wrong agency. You need someone that understands these market dynamics, follows them, uses data, and can keep you informed. R&R Insurance will stay on top of these issues and design a custom solution for you. Our scale, our strong relationships with insurance carriers allow each customer to find the best coverage at a competitive price. We understand how to present your account to the market, get carriers to compete for your business, and you have to be willing to work with an agent who can quote business from more than one company. If you work with an agent that can only give you one quote, you're limiting your competition and you're going to pay higher premiums.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff. 7:30, I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. Our top story, a violent end to a party in a Milwaukee park.
I'm Erik Bilstad. A major Democratic announcement changes everything.
I'm Debbie Lazigo, westbound on 94, backing up now from 27th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Westbound 894. Coming out of the Mitchell interchange, you're going to start to see some slowdowns all the way to about Loomis. Northbound 4394, starting to slow down just a little bit, right past Holt Avenue up to Oklahoma Avenue. 43 southbound, not bad. We're seeing some heavier volume, but at least it's rolling along at a good clip. I'm Debbie Lazigo with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Mostly sunny skies today in your Storm Team forecast with a high of 80 degrees. Just a chance away from the lake of a pop-up shower. Then mostly clear tonight, low down to 66. Milwaukee temp at 65. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a teenage girl is dead, 9 other teens injured. There was a mass shooting overnight in a Milwaukee park. This is Deneen Park on the west side.
The Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office says a 17-year-old girl is the fatal victim of the shooting, which happened after what's being called an impromptu car party in the park around 12:30 this morning. The 9 other shooting victims are currently receiving treatment, including an 18-year-old male who is in critical condition. 2 homes near the park were also struck by bullets from the incident, but there have been no reports of any injuries from inside either either of the homes. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
6-year-old child from Milwaukee is dead from what police say suspected child abuse. Police do have a woman in custody in connection to the child's death. It's not known the relationship between the two.
Man dead after a drowning at South Shore Park in Milwaukee. TMJ4 News reporting 2 kayakers were in the water. One did not resurface. Milwaukee Fire Department was on scene within minutes. 10 divers fighting through seaweed at the bottom of the lake to try to locate the man. He did die in the ambulance and was taken to the medical examiner's office.
President Biden making his decision to leave behind his re-election bid while he recuperates from COVID. Made the announcement on Sunday. He remains in Delaware today. ABC's Selena Wang.
The president is expected to address the nation sometime later this week, not in the coming days, I'm told later in the week. And we did hear from the president's doctor today. He said he is still isolating, but his symptoms are improving significantly. So that is a step up.
It's been a dead heat between Trump and Biden in recent Marquette Law School polls surveying Wisconsin voters. The next version of the poll will look quite different. Director of that poll, Charles Franklin, telling WTMJ they're ready to shift to questions that pit Trump against Vice President Harris.
Thankfully, the writing was on the wall enough that we're well prepared to do that, and we'll be in the field this week.
Franklin says they're planning to conduct one poll before the Democratic National Convention in August.
Vice President Harris will be in Milwaukee on Tuesday. As of now, no word on when or where she will be. This was previously scheduled, but still planning to be here tomorrow.
Reconstruction of Milwaukee's Lake Drive set to begin today. It's a 2-phase project that will start with work between Edgewood and Kenwood Boulevard. Construction will include pavement replacement, replacing drainage structures, and implementing protected bike lanes. Work expected to be completed in the middle of next year.
Coming up, we now know who's going to carry the flag.
Traffic is sponsored by Sendik's Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926.
Sendik's limited time Hatch Pepper event is back. Order your fresh or roasted Hatch peppers now at sendix.com/hatch.
News sponsored by Griffin Ford, Griffin Chevy on Metro Auto Mall, and Griffin's Hub Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram.
$1 in today's world doesn't go far unless you're spending it at Griffin. Because for just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. Buy one or a whole set. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand. We'll put you in new tires for just $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. That's right, $1 over cost, and we'll even show you the invoice to prove it. So what's the catch? There's really no catch. You don't have to buy a car or a truck from us. We'd like it if you did, but our only requirement is we put them on for you. Buy 1, 2, or a set of 4. The $1 deal at Griffin. Available at Griffin Chrysler Jeep South, 27th Street and Jefferson. Griffin Chevrolet in the Auto Mall. Griffin Ford, Waukesha, and Fort Atkinson. 5 ways to make your dollar go further. Griffin, the buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. $1 over cost. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Steve Scafidi. Right now, receive 0% financing for 60 months. That is 5 years. Restrictions apply. Tell them I sent you and get an additional $250 off your project for the last windows you'll ever need. Go to UWD.com.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:36.
Brewers head to Chicago today, and we got host of Brewers Extra Innings, Dom Catronio, joining us for Brewers 360, coming up at 7:45.
It's one of the biggest questions, right, during the Olympics, which the opening ceremony is set for Friday. One of the big conversation pieces is always, okay, well, who's going to carry the flag?
Who will be the flag bearer?
We already know who's carrying the flag for Greece.
Yep,
right?
Giannis. Somebody else, too. They're going to have 2 flag bearers.
Okay. Well, we know who's going to carry the flag for the U.S.
Oh, my! from behind the backboard. What a shot.
LeBron James has been selected as the male flag bearer for Team USA at the Olympics opening ceremony Friday night in Paris. He's the third basketball player and the first men's player tapped for the honor, with Dawn Staley and Sue Bird going before. LeBron is set to play in the Olympics for the fourth time after he was part of U.S. teams that won bronze in 2004, gold at Beijing in 2008, and gold again in London in 2012. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
So the question now is, okay, well, who's going to carry the flag with him?
Do we always do that? We have a man and a woman?
Well, that's what we do now.
I guess so.
As of now, the female flag bearer will be announced tomorrow.
Simone Biles.
Ooh,
easy choice.
Absolutely.
Katie Ledecky, she's still swimming, right?
Yeah, both of those are great choices.
Actually, it should just be the two of them.
Has Biles done it before? I'm assuming no.
But that's an easy choice, right?
1,000%.
Between the two of them, that's hard. I mean, Simone Biles probably better known.
Yep.
But either way, you can't go wrong. Then you got the closing ceremony flag bearer. Not quite the same energy as the opening ceremony.
Yeah. Do they decide that on whoever had a good couple of weeks?
I think so, right? Who's getting a lot of buzz, right? So we'll see. 7:37, this news report brought to you by Steinhoffels. Visit them at steinhoffels.com.
The Steinhoffels Buy More, Save More sale is back. The best time to refresh your whole house because the more you buy, the more you save. You can take up to $300 off of your purchase of bedroom, dining, sofas, home office, and so much more. Use Steinhoffel's 60-month financing to make your dream room even more affordable. The Buy More, Save More sale only at Steinhoffels. Shop in-store or online at steinhoffels.com.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
WTMJ's John Mercure here. The Mine Shaft in Hartford is hiring servers, bartenders, and pizza cooks. A great summer job for high school and college students. You'll make great cash. Parents and grandparents, tell your kids. Inquire today, start next week. MineshaftRestaurant.com.
Michael Quizon is the IT Systems Administrator at Great Midwest Bank. Before switching to document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems, they had a printer problem.
We talked to James Imaging. We said, we need to take down the number of printers that we have. What can we do?
The experts at James Imaging Systems researched your printing process, overall workflow, costs, supplies.
So we went from probably 120, 130 printers down to 50 some odd printers.
And
our cost from supplies perspective went down. I mean, we're talking about thousands in a year. So we saved a lot of money by bringing James Imaging on.
Michael, the benefit as the bank's IT systems administrator?
I don't have to deal with printers. One less thing on my plate.
Anything to add about your experience?
In terms of James Imaging, they've been a great partner.
Switch to document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
At 7:39, how's the traffic, Deb?
Not too horribly bad. We got westbound 94, as you might expect, volume picking up a bit, basically from 27th Street, maybe just before about 25th Street, all the way through to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound slowing down a bit from 84th Street through the Stadium Interchange to 35th. And westbound 894, heavy out of the Mitchell Interchange to Loomis. Northbound 4394, slowing down around the Plainfield curve all the way up past Oklahoma Avenue. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Plenty of sunshine today with high temperatures near 80 this afternoon. There will once again be the small chance for a pop-up rain shower thunderstorm inland away from the lake. Those rain chances, though, are looking very low for today. Tonight, mostly clear skies, low temperatures in the mid-60s. A better chance for showers and thunderstorms Tuesday afternoon and evening. More humidity works into the area with high temperatures in the lower 80s. Some of those rain showers could linger into Wednesday morning. Otherwise, we start to dry things out by Wednesday afternoon with high temperatures in the upper 70s. Plenty of sunshine on Thursday with high temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. Then more upper 70s on Friday with mostly sunny skies. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore. The Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Lucky temp up to 65 degrees. At 7:41 on the front end of a huge week, Erik just earlier detailed all the stuff that's going on in Milwaukee. You've got Harley-Davidson Homecoming starting on Thursday officially. You'll hear the rumble probably earlier this week as folks come into town. Milwaukee Air and Water Show, EAA Air Venture kicks off today in Oshkosh. Germanfest this weekend. I'm leaving people out because we don't have 20 minutes.
And we have a vice presidential visit tomorrow.
So this was previously scheduled. Vice President Kamala Harris was due to late last week. It was announced she would be visiting Milwaukee for an event. What we don't know, even right now, is where she's going. We know it's Milwaukee, but we don't have the timing of the visit, and we don't know with whom she's meeting. Is it multiple events? Is it one thing like that? Which has been fairly standard dealing with the vice president's office over the last 3.5 years. Is any of these visits we find out pretty late what the itinerary is. But what a different tone that will take on here in Milwaukee now that President Biden announced on Sunday that he is not seeking re-election.
I mean, it will be the first campaign visit she makes as the head of the ticket as of now. I mean, it's obviously presumptive nominee.
Sort of, yeah. There is that
be used
feel
now all the time, but it sure looks like she will likely be that person.
Now, she's got something today, right, at the White House?
Yeah, big event taking place this morning.
The vice president is scheduled to speak at an event on the South Lawn celebrating the NCAA championship teams from last season. It will be her first public remarks since President Biden announced he was exiting the race and endorsing her for the Democratic presidential nomination.
That's CBS's Stacey Lynn. Starts around 10:30 this morning Central Time. Now, since that's on the South Lawn, I mean, she wouldn't mention anything about running for president, right?
Probably in the moment, but if you're in the press pool, I mean, we just spent a week with those rabid dogs. They've got to start barking out questions or something like that, right?
Of course.
And you'd hate to detract, for these teams that have earned the opportunity to be there. I don't even remember who won either side.
Well, so this is for multiple different.
Oh, it's not just basketball?
Yeah.
It's like a number of
championship teams.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you don't want to take away from their moment, nor would she. But you have to think, if she's out there for the first time since all of this, you got to take some questions, right?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe you just make tomorrow the big day.
Okay. We'll talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll see you in Milwaukee.
You know how they wrap all these things? Again, we got to see it firsthand here in Milwaukee. Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Like as people keep asking questions, like, we're done here. Thank you, press. 7:43, Brewers 360 coming up next.
WTMJ's Greg Matzik here for Wisconsin's #1 Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac. It's where to get more Mazda for your money and more for your trade. Well-qualified buyers lock in rates as low as 0% now on all-wheel drive Mazda favorites, like the invigorating Mazda CX-5, the rugged and refined Mazda CX-50, the three-row Mazda CX-90, and more. Which Mazda's right for you? Treat yourself to a test drive and find out at Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac and at holidaymazda.com. It's worth the trip.
You know Fleet Farm's got everything for everyday life. But did you know we also have the best prices guaranteed every day? Like 40 pounds of Diamond Crystal Softener Salt on sale now for just $5.69. Or a 40-pound bag of Black Oil Sunflower Seed on sale for $17.49. And on the odd day you find a lower price, we'll match it. Any day, every day. Fleet Farm's got everything you need for everyday life, all at the best prices. Guaranteed.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
Packers open their training camp today in Green Bay. 10:30 start for practice, which is open to the public at Ray Nitschke Field. 10:30 start there.
The Brewers looking good thanks to Jackson Chourio.
1-0. Drilled deep to left. Watch this baby. Way back. Way gone. Second deck. Game-tying home run. Jackson Chourio. Have yourself a weekend.
You could say that again. Chourio, just yesterday, a bomb, a double, and 3 RBIs as the Brewers sweep the Twins, 8-7 the final. But through the weekend, he went 5 for 9. Double homer, 2 stolen bases, 3 runs scored, 5 RBI for Jackson Chourio. Up next, the Cubs starting tonight at Wrigley Field.
Brewers 360 is sponsored by Holiday Automotive. Holiday Automotive, it's worth the trip. Host of Brewers Extra Innings, Dom Catronio, on live with us this morning. So, Dom, GM Matt Arnold signed a kid, 18 years old, who'd never taken an AB in the major leagues, to an $80 million deal, and it looks like a steal.
To be fair, he was 19. I mean, that's a huge difference. But, I mean, I remember that there's some receipts of folks like, why would you do this for a kid who has not yet made his big league debut? And quite frankly, there were people really worried in May when he was hitting barely 200. His on base was in the 270s. And I thought what was really important, and you were in that meeting too, Vince, with Matt Arnold, with Mark Atanasio, when they said he has nothing else to learn in the minor leagues. He needs to learn in the big leagues. They stuck with him. They trusted him. They put him in front of the veterans like William Contreras, like Willie Adames, and said, watch these guys, watch their process. It's day by day, and it will get better. And now you're seeing him over his last month plus, 36-game stretch here. This is a real stretch. He's hitting 300. His OPS is over 880. He's been incredible. And then you start to wonder, like, oh, my goodness, he's 20 years old. You get really excited.
Well, and to the point that you made about his receptiveness to listening to the veterans, learning and growing from them, how about the catch he made to end the game? A diving catch.
Yeah.
He lays out. You want to play it, E? I thought that's what you were doing.
Well, I can play it if you'd like it. Here it is.
Why don't you
The
just
first
play
pitch
it?
to him is lined out towards left. Coming over is Churio. Diving catch, and this ball game is in the books. Jackson Churio, full extension, hauls it in.
Dom, you remember a couple of defensive plays earlier in the season where Churio would let a ball drop in front of him that you thought maybe he could have made a play on. Willie Adames is a guy who stood out to me as taking him aside after that, saying, like, hey, man, here's how you should play that. Like, he's receptive to it. It's all coming around.
Yeah, the moment with Freddie Peralta, too.
Oh, that was it, yep.
Here in Milwaukee against the Cubs on a ball that, I mean, it didn't lead to anything, but a ball that Freddie Peralta really felt he should have made the play. And instead of, like, tearing him down and saying, like, come on, kid, go make a play for me. Oh, my gosh. Like, he said, like, dude, you're great. You're capable of making that play. That's why you're here. We know you can make that play. So let's see you do it. You're a great player. He built him up. And from that moment forward, that was the day that Churio flipped the switch and we see the player that he is today.
All right, trade deadline is quickly approaching. Who's your dream guy?
I mean, pitching-wise, it has to be pitching. I would say, I mean, realistically, somebody that the Brewers could actually get that is a dream guy for me is Chris Bassett with the Toronto Blue Jays. However, the Brewers are pretty full. They would have to make some decisions on the 40-man roster. Devin Williams is due to return, hopefully, by the end of the next homestand. D.L. Hall is going to return this week. Joe Ross is going to return this week. They just got Jared Koenig back. So there's a lot of, kicking the can down the road here if you're going to make a trade, but it has to be pitching, if you ask me. It has to be starting pitching if you're going to make a trade.
And, right, who do you give up? You do not. We've seen that movie before. If you disrupt the chemistry that is such an important part about this particular team.
Josh Hader ain't on the team, so they can't trade him.
I know, but you can't give up anybody important, right, Dom?
Well, I think what you're saying with Willie Adames or maybe one of the surplus outfielders, I don't see that happening right now, especially given how well they're playing. For the Willie example, I mean, we're a week away. I would be absolutely shell-shocked if they traded Willie Adames. Talking to some industry sources, they're not taking any calls on Willie.
Brewers Extra Innings host Dom Catronio with us on this Monday morning. Thanks, Dom.
Thank you, guys.
Brewers and Cubs tonight. How the Cubs doing, E?
Last place.
Yeah, 10 back of the Brewers and reeling. 10 minutes before 8 o'clock. Tauscher joins us next.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. And now is the time for a bad dad joke.
What did the window say when it was arrested? I was framed.
Dad jokes aside, my mind is on windows because Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin has a fantastic deal going on right now. Pay as low as $18 per window and $81 per patio door per month. Pella completes the installation with no mess, no hassle, and no bad dad jokes. Certain restrictions do apply. This offer ends on July 31st. Visit PellaWI.com today to get started.
It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores. Get sale discounts store-wide all month long. What a great time to shop for all of your Christmas needs. Get your holiday decor and so much more, along with all the great bargains we always have for you. It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Tune in on Sundays at 10 a.m. for the AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show. Join AccuNet's Brian and David Wickert for the most up-to-date information on mortgage trends, along with timely news on the real estate market. The housing market is in flux, but the national headlines don't often fit local market conditions. Find out what's really happening on the front lines of real estate and mortgage financing in Wisconsin and make better decisions by tuning in every Sunday at 10 a.m. The AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show with Brian and David Wickert on WTMJ.
From removing unwanted clutter or junk to full-service residential or commercial cleanouts, get a free same-day estimate at twomenandajuncktruck.com. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Traffic sponsored by Two Men and a Junk Truck. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't. Debbie.
All right, eastbound 94. Watch for delays from about 84th Street all the way through the Stadium Interchange to about 35th. Westbound side slowing down from basically 16th Street all the way through to Mitchell Boulevard. Got some backups along southbound 43 now just before Hampton Avenue. Brake lights come on and stretch all the way down past Capitol Drive, with the northbound side backed up from North Avenue up towards Keefe. Northbound 4394 also slowing down around the Plainfield curve all the way up to Oklahoma Avenue. Hey, while you're out navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hull Volkswagen Traffic Tip Line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ forecast. Sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Nice one today, high of 80 degrees under mostly sunny skies. Chance inland of a pop-up shower, mostly clear tonight, low down to 66. Tuesday, scattered storms likely with a high of 83 degrees, and then we returned to temperatures the next few days into the mid to upper 70s. Right now, Milwaukee at 65 degrees.
Idea Man.
Kind of the Super Bowl of politics, right? As you get through and you're kind of grinding and you kind of get that glaze about you, man, is it almost over, but I got to finish strong.
Innovative.
You head into the green room and get that illegal coffee. That's what you got to go do.
And Packers Hall of Famer.
The worst part was when I pulled through the checkpoint today, the security checkpoint, the guy says to me, "How's your night been?" And I'm like, dude, I just got up.
I'm on the front end, brother.
It's time for Tausch on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and Kohler Services.
Our Tausch on Wisconsin's Morning News is sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Green Bay Packers kickoff training camp 10:30 this morning at Ray Nitschke Field. Are you up there, Tausch?
I am en route as we speak, so I will be up there, and it's, I think for a lot of us, this is, from a player standpoint, 4th of July it ends your summer. Now it really does, because training camp is rolling and all the festivities and everything else. And with everything else going on in the world, it's kind of a nice little fun distraction, isn't it?
Absolutely.
1,000% agree with that.
I'm sorry it still doesn't get old, watching guys get on little dirt bikes and ride them from Lambeau Field across Oneida Street over to the practice facility in Ray Nitschke Field now. I love that tradition. It's been a little corporatized now, but still the fact that continues, I just love that so much.
Yeah, it was something I think, you didn't really understand it. You saw pictures, and I can remember sitting in the cafeteria one of the first times when I was signed by Green Bay, and you see Reggie White riding down on a really small bike with a kid running next to him with a helmet, and then you get to be a part of it. And I think it's one of the coolest traditions. I know Lombardi started that, and where it's gotten to now, I know every player thoroughly enjoys it, and then you get that chance. You end up having a relationship with the kids that end up doing it over and over and over. So the whole thing is, I think, what makes Green Bay great and what makes it different than everywhere else is that you have those touch points that I think most of these training camps don't.
So what type of bike were you looking for when you were walking through that
Big,
line?
Did you pick the bike or the kid?
I was looking for. Well, here's the deal. When I first got there, I'm not going to lie to you, kids are not super interested in linemen, especially guys that are 7th-round picks. And then,
hey, look, it's Mark Tauscher.
It kind of reminds you. At that point, that's not how that shook out. But it's kind of like a junior high dance, where you're standing there and you come out and you're looking like, I hope I have someone to dance with. I hope someone is willing to give the bike up. And at some point you end up getting it. And then how picky do you want to be? I was just like, all right, let's get on this bike. And one of the guys busted the bike. And this is a true story. About 3 days into training camp, everybody's biking down, doing their thing. And the guy snaps the axle on the kid's bike. He brought him an invoice for the broken bike, like 2-3 days later. And that's when you start wondering, all right, make sure when you're doing this, make sure that the bike is going to work for you, and you can't just jump and take whatever bike shows up.
Wait, did you just say that kids would turn players down? Did I hear that right?
Well, I got drive. I'll never forget it. Oh, Donald's my guy. Oh, okay, I get that. Oh, Favre wasn't at that point, but yeah, and it's very humbling because you're getting ready to go down to practice. You have to get down there, and you want to kind of partake in the whole thing. And then when a kid rejects you, you don't usually reject kids, but then you sit. So it's a little bit of a jostling that you're trying to figure out how and where and who you're going to end up riding with.
Wow.
I love that. Nah.
I'm good,
no thanks,
sir.
I'm good.
No, I'm good. No, I have Rondell Mealy is going to be my my bike rider this year. And you're like, man, you're taking Mealy over me? But that's the way the world works.
Were there any kids who were really obnoxious? Like you're like, oh, don't ride with that kid. Or some kid who's like 17.
Yes.
He's like, hey, come on, man. Get out of here.
The answer is yes, but you obviously don't say that.
Right.
You end up getting back into the locker room, and you're like, can you believe this kid's like a 32-year-old dude that's, wanting a Gatorade and some old gloves that's, got a small little dirt bike. But
hey, Mark, you can ride my bike.
Here, I got a cigarette. You need one? You have a tough practice.
All right, get out of here. Have a great week up there, Tosh.
All right.
7:58 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
A dispute about extending water service to the village of Mount Pleasant from Racine's City Waterworks flows to the State Public Service Commission. The village complains Racine creates a de facto ban on new development. Harley-Davidson gives tours of its historic Milwaukee headquarters as part of the company's homecoming weekend starting Thursday. Other activities planned for the new Davidson Park across the street. GE Healthcare seeks improved ultrasounds, acquiring UK-based Intelligent Ultrasound Group's artificial intelligence unit for $51 million. I'm Rich Kirchin with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
This report is sponsored by Diamonds Direct. Your love, their passion.
You're not going to want to miss this. Diamonds Direct summer sale starts this weekend. For 3 days only, this Friday through Sunday, get 20% off rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, and more. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. And designers are flying in from New York and LA to showcase their latest trends. That's 20% off, plus $100 off with an appointment and designer trunk shows. Tons of engagement rings on sale, too. 20% off starts Friday. Details at diamondsdirect.com. 3 days only and Sunday.
He's making us, his people, into what his Father promised we would become, a light for a world that is crying for help. Jesus came to make God's light shine on us, so that in us, all people might see the face of God.
Dr. Michael Ziegler asks, who will come to know God this week because of you? A message about connecting others to God through our connections to them. This week on the Lutheran Hour.
Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ. For WTMJ contest rules, visit WTMJ.com/contests. Your trusted and relevant source for news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
8 o'clock. I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. Monday, July 22nd. Our top story. What led to that major announcement from President Biden?
I'm Erik Bilstad, and how is that announcement being received in Wisconsin?
I'm I'm Debbie Lazaga. Eastbound 94 backing up out of the Zoo interchange all the way through to about 35th Street. We've also got some delays stretching pretty much from 16th Street to about Hawley Road on the westbound side. Northbound 4394 backed up around the Plainfield curve up past Oklahoma Avenue, and southbound 43 watch for some heavy delays from before Hampton Avenue all the way down past Keefe. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Mostly sunny today, just a chance of a pop-up shower away from Lake Michigan and a high of 80 degrees. Skies clear out tonight, low down to 66. Right now at 70 degrees in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a major shakeup in the Democratic Party as President Biden officially plans to withdraw from the 2024 presidential race. ABC's Stephen Portnoy telling Wisconsin's Morning News what led the president to finally make that announcement after previously stating he planned to stay in.
Members of Joe Biden's inner circle huddled with him on Saturday. Remember, he's still in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, recovering from COVID. The word was that they sat with him and from a distance and explained that they had data that indicated that he was not going to win in November.
President Biden endorsing Vice President Kamala Harris. She is supposed to be in Milwaukee tomorrow for a campaign event.
Many people in Milwaukee backing Biden with his decision to endorse the VP.
Milwaukee homeowner Todd Ferris proudly displays a Biden-Harris sign in his front yard.
It was inevitable. I understand why it took so long, because he was the best candidate until he wasn't.
Ferris says he thinks Vice President Kamala Harris is the best person at the top of the ticket now. It's a thought being echoed by others like Tom Maloney on Milwaukee's East Side.
She's worked alongside him. She's been a prosecutor. She's been an attorney general. She's been a senator. Now a vice president. I think she has a lot of experience.
And Harriet McKinney, who lives in Sherman Park.
The country's been in the hands of white men for how many years? It's time to give a woman a chance. It's time to give a black woman a chance. It's time to give this woman a chance.
Jessica Ty, WTMJ News.
Director of the Marquette University Law School poll, Charles Franklin, telling WTMJ they're ready to shift questioning to pitting Trump against Vice President Harris.
Thankfully, the writing was on the wall enough that we're well prepared to do that, and we'll be in the field this week.
And Franklin says they're planning to conduct one poll before the Democratic National Convention here in August.
Another big story is shaking out in Washington today. The director of the Secret Service will testify before the House about the Trump assassination attempt.
Secret Service Director Kim Cheadle not expecting a friendly reception at her public House hearing. Many of the committee's Republican majority members demanding she resign after the attempt on Donald Trump's life. Last week, she told ABC's Pierre Thomas,
"We're going to continue to be transparent and communicate with people."
You plan to stay on? Absolutely.
I do plan to stay on.
Homeland Security conducting its own bipartisan independent investigation of the assassination attempt. Andy Field, ABC News, Washington.
A teenager is dead, 9 others injured after what the sheriff's office is calling a mass shooting overnight in Milwaukee's Deneen Park. TMJ4's Sydney Orr is there.
Witnesses and investigators say a large group of teens were here at Deneen Park for what they're calling an impromptu car party. We're told an argument broke out in the parking lot around 12:30 a.m. that led to those shots being fired. 2 homes were also hit by gunfire, apparently related to this incident, but no injuries were reported at either of those homes.
Police or the sheriff's office says they are still looking for suspects and working to identify a motive.
A 6-year-old child from Milwaukee is dead from suspected child abuse. Police say they've arrested a 33-year-old woman in connection to that child's death, and no word on what the relationship between the two is.
Coming up, a basketball superstar will lead the march into Paris. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 8:04.
News is sponsored by BBC Lighting. Thousands of specialty light fixtures open Monday through Saturday.
Hi folks, this is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. With the weather getting warmer, our prices get even hotter. When you visit our showroom, you'll see all the finest brands of lights and ceiling fans. BBC is Wisconsin's largest supplier to new home builders, contractors, and designers. And we display all the famous brands such as Visual Comfort, Tech, Hubbard & Forge, and hundreds more. Our prices are the lowest. I guarantee it. There's something for everyone at BBC, including fun for the kids and our famous free popcorn. BBC is open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and on Saturday from 10 to 4. We are located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's and Bachman Furniture, all near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
Are you tired of being tired? Go to AdventKnows.com.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
SemperFiRoofing.com.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:06.
Wisconsin unemployment looking better and better.
Governor Tony Evers declared 2024 the year of the worker, and the Badger State is seeing record highs for employment this summer. The latest Bureau of Labor Statistics data shows Wisconsin's seasonally adjusted unemployment rate was 2.9% in June. That's more than a full percentage point below the national unemployment rate of 4.1%. The total number of people employed in Wisconsin also hit a new high, over 3,048,000 non-farm jobs. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
The reconstruction of Milwaukee's Lake Drive is set to begin today. The two-phase project begins with work between Edgewood and Kenwood. Construction will include pavement replacement, replacing drainage structures, and implementing protected bike lanes. It'll be done by mid-2025.
An NBA superstar will be front and center for the start of the Summer Olympic Games this week.
From behind the backboard. What a shot.
LeBron James has been selected as the male flag bearer for Team USA at the Olympics opening ceremony Friday night in Paris. He's the third basketball player and the first men's player tapped for the honor, with Dawn Staley and Sue Bird going before. LeBron is set to play in the Olympics for the fourth time after he was part of U.S. teams that won bronze in 2004, gold at Beijing in 2008, and gold again in London in 2012. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Now, there will also be a female athlete. They will announce the female athlete who will also carry a flag tomorrow.
Got to be Simone Biles, right?
Although you said Ledecky, too. I mean,
Katie Ledecky would be a good choice.
Both of them on the
short
short
list.
list.
Argue with it.
It's got to be Biles, though, you'd think, right?
We should look it up. Has she done that before?
I will.
And then even more
investigate.
interesting is a number of events actually begin midweek here for the Olympics, like ahead of the opening ceremony.
Hey, because you got to squeeze a lot of things in 2 weeks.
There are many games to be had.
Right.
8:08 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
You're back at the gym. Your new gym outfit? On point. Your new sneakers? Baller. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Access Checking. It's maintenance fee-free with no minimum balance requirements. So when you take your first yoga class in 10 months, your body might surprise you, but your checking account won't. You've got this with Access Checking from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Prepare for nonstop excitement at EAA AirVenture Oshkosh, home to the world's busiest airport and the finest air shows you'll ever see. From July 22nd through the 28th, indulge in thrilling daily air shows over 7 action-packed days, including 2 electrifying night shows. Get ready for jaw-dropping aerobatics, military jets, cutting-edge tech, and breathtaking warbird displays. Experience the world's greatest aviation celebration with aerial spectacles and family fun all week long. Secure your tickets now at eaa.org/tickets.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
$1 doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin, the buck stops here, the deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Checking in with Debbie Lazica here at 8:10.
All righty. Well, we got a broken down vehicle on the off-ramp to Port Washington Road from 43 northbound. Something to keep in mind through that area. It's also through the construction zone, so it's kind of weird. Southbound 43 backing up from before Hampton Avenue down past Keefe. Northbound 43 slowing from North Avenue up to Keefe. And the eastbound 94 got backups now from 92nd Street all the way to about 35th. I'm Debbie Lazica with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast for today, mostly sunny skies and a high of 80 degrees, just a chance away from Lake Michigan of a pop-up shower. Mostly clear skies tonight, low down to 66. Milwaukee temp at 70 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
We got breaking news and developing stories coming through a fire hose this morning on Wisconsin's Morning News. So now what? Vice President Kamala Harris due to be in Milwaukee tomorrow in a previously announced visit that takes on a whole new meaning. She has President Biden's endorsement following his announcement Sunday that he is no longer seeking re-election. Meanwhile, Republicans, among them House Speaker Mike Johnson, suggesting President Biden ought not even finish his term. They were already on message with that point last week here in Milwaukee. WTMJ's Libby Collins talked with Florida Senator Marco Rubio.
Candidate's the easier part. President's the hard part. And so if he doesn't have the mental acuity to be the candidate, how can he be the president? And I think you have to ask, really, I'm serious, guys. We have to ask the Democrats. They knew the condition this guy was in, and they covered it up. And the only reason why they stopped covering it up is because they couldn't cover it up anymore. They had a debate, and the whole country saw it.
So many questions to get to, including that point. Let's bring in ABC News political analyst from Washington, Steve Roberts, this morning. Really appreciate your time, Steve. I know it's busy for you today. Let's wrap up that point first. Any chance at all that President Biden would give up his post before the end of his term?
No. Flat out no.
Right. Asked and answered, right? We don't need to explore that any further. That's more just grandstanding.
Yeah, sure. And look, Biden is still president, and he has two major foreign policy crises to deal with. And presidents always have much more flexibility on foreign policy than they do on domestic policy. You've got a war in Ukraine, and you've got a war in Gaza. Biden, whatever else is true about him, is a very experienced president in foreign policy. So bottom line, that's what he's going to focus on for the next 6 months.
So Kamala Harris likely to take over the reins, getting lots of support and also quite a war chest.
Yeah, look, I think it's much more than likely. I think it's almost certain for three reasons. First of all, logistically, it's just much easier, particularly given the money situation. The campaign money in presidential election, given under a lot of very strict rules, much easier to transfer the campaign war chest to her because her name was already on the ticket. Secondly, it's just inconceivable to me how the Democrats would reject a black woman. That would only fracture the party yet again. Black women are the single most loyal voting group in the Democratic Party. 91% of them voted for the ticket last time. Third, there's no obvious option. If there were a single alternative to Harris that people could rally around, well, maybe this would be a plausible idea. But there are half a dozen young senators and governors who hope and believe they might be president one day, but there's no one person who everybody could agree on. So I think this is a done deal. It's going to be Kamala Harris, and she has a lot of pluses and a lot of minuses. It's hardly anybody's idea of a perfect candidate. When she ran for president the first time, she was a disaster. She never even got to the primaries, and she didn't impress many people during her first years as vice president. But she's got some big advantages, starting with the fact that she's not 81 years old. And she didn't disgrace herself in that debate. And just by that fact alone, she deprives the Republicans of their single best argument and at least resets the campaign. And it's all potential going forward. But there's a potential for a significant reordering of the order of battle here.
ABC News political analyst Steve Roberts with us from Washington this morning. So we have her coming to Milwaukee tomorrow. Wisconsin, of course, we've talked about it for a couple of years, Steve. The battleground status that our state has. The Republicans just left here last week. What do you see her play being here in Wisconsin? That should be her first big forward-facing event. She's got something at the White House today, but unrelated to the campaign. How do you see that stop here in Wisconsin tomorrow?
Well, that's a very good question, and you're right. Wisconsin, of course, is right at the center of the political universe, and it will be for the next 6 months. And if people don't like to see political ads on their radio and TV, they should move to California or Alabama because they're going to be totally swamped. And this election is going to be fought basically in 3 states. And I think what you're going to see tomorrow is 2 things. And this is a tricky thing for a vice president trying to succeed a president. It's not easy because on one hand, you want to say, well, I'm running on the record But on the other hand, you want to say, but I'm different. And there's a potential for a mixed message there. And it's never been easy for vice presidents to run to succeed a president. Ask Al Gore how difficult it was. Right. But I think what you're going to start to see is where she is going to be different from Joe Biden, apart from the fact that she's a woman and that she's a woman of color and that she's 59, not 81. In terms of policy, you're going to see much more of a focus on abortion. At that Republican convention right there in Milwaukee, I always tell my students, evaluate a speech by words that are not spoken. And it was very striking how seldom Donald Trump or anybody else during 4 days in Milwaukee never mentioned the word abortion. Why? Because they know, starting with Trump, they know that this is the single biggest vulnerability for Republicans in terms of issues. They want people to think about inflation, which has been devastating and damaging to families in Milwaukee and everywhere else. They want people to think about the border crisis. They don't want people to think about abortion. Biden was always a poor messenger on that issue because he's a Roman Catholic. He's a believing Catholic. He was always uncomfortable with that issue. I bet you when she gets to Milwaukee, you're going to see a much more full-throated emphasis on the abortion issue, but not just in terms of the judges who Trump appointed. There's a larger message there, which is Trump does not respect women. Trump does not respect your independence, your authority, your autonomy. And in Milwaukee and all of the swing states, keep your eye on that issue as going forward, because it's the one area where Democrats can crystallize a difference with the Republicans that can have at least some potential effect of not changing votes. That's not what we're talking about. That's not as if any Trump supporter in Milwaukee is suddenly going to decide I'm voting for Kamala Harris. That's not what we're talking about. But the people who are already Democrats, already predisposed to be favorable to Democrats, can she energize them? Can she excite them? There's been a tremendous intensity gap. Republicans have been far more enthusiastic about this election than Democrats. And at least this change gives the potential for Democrats to be excited again, which they have not been for months.
Who would she pick for a running mate, do you think? Can we assume it likely would be a governor versus a congressperson?
Yeah, most likely. You know, governors are much better suited to national office than senators. Senators make speeches. Governors make decisions. They actually have experience in running something. Now, the one senator that I think, well, two senators that are possibilities. One is Mark Kelly. He's a senator from Arizona. Arizona, of course, is an important swing state. He was an astronaut. The husband of Gabrielle Giffords, who was deeply wounded in a shooting. He's a coming star in the Democratic Party. The other senator I really like is Raphael Warnock, the young senator from Georgia, but he is black, and I don't think the Democrats are about to nominate two candidates of color. Among the governors, I think the most likely choice is Governor Shapiro of Pennsylvania. He's a very popular young governor. I think he's about 48 at this point in his first term, but he was Attorney General before then, so he's been around a while. And for exactly the same reason that Trump nominated J.D. Vance in Milwaukee, because the joke in Milwaukee was that J.D. Vance was basically going to set up residence in Pennsylvania for the rest of the campaign. And if you have someone like Shapiro, who not only has roots in Pennsylvania, but understands the culture of the Midwest industrial states like Wisconsin and like Michigan, we all know those three states, the Democrats cannot win the presidency, period, flat out, cannot win without winning those three states. And so if I'm betting this morning, I'm betting on Josh Shapiro for exactly the same reason that Trump picked J.D. Vance.
ABC News political analyst Steve Roberts live with us from Washington. Thanks, Steve.
Anytime.
Man, and there are more questions. What's the process that plays out here now? Do the Democrats have to at least stage some sort of contest even if it's a wink, wink, nod, nod, where they say, no, this is an open process. We would take other candidates. We would,
You need some outspoken candidate to jump in. And Joe Manchin isn't that guy. He told CBS this morning that he's not interested.
Yeah, he was tepidly in for about 7 minutes, and then he's like, nah, I guess I'm out. And the Democrats made a good point. And was like, well, you're not really a Democrat, actually.
Right.
You left the party earlier this year.
There is that congressman who tried to get on the primary ballot originally. Maybe he comes back around.
Who is now seen going, hey, that's what I said. That's what I said. Hey, you all laughed at me.
So
he's doing right now.
I think it ultimately is. I agree with you. I think it's probably a done deal, but maybe as more and more endorsements come in, that'll kind of flood it and they'll move on.
8:21 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Again, the vice president due here in Milwaukee tomorrow. How about an update on the traffic here, Deb?
Well, we got some backups, that's for sure. Southbound on 94, right about at Ryan Road. Looks like we've got some debris in the roadway. I'm not quite sure. They just say expect lane closures. I don't even know which lane. So just keep your eyes open if you're going to be going through that area. Northbound 43 slowing around North Avenue up to about Keefe. Southbound's heavy from before Hampton down to Keefe. And then eastbound 94, delays 84th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Grammy Award-winning Brothers Osborne, live in concert. State Fair Main Stage, presented by Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Sunday, August 4th, with special guest Sarah Evans. Get tickets now at WIStatefair.com. Their self-titled album, Brothers Osborne, is available everywhere. Brothers Osborne, live in concert. Wisconsin State Fair, presented by U.S. Cellular.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here. Boy, how about that day yesterday? Just a gorgeous day to be out doing anything outside. Maybe you're fishing, maybe you're swimming, maybe you're golfing, whatever you're doing. You might be feeling it today, right? That arthritic joint pain just bugging you. Your shoulders are barking, your knees are keeping you up at night. It's because of the energy and the time you're spending outside. And you want to get it fixed, but you don't want surgery. So what do? Well, QC Kinetics is the way to go. It's cutting-edge treatment. It accelerates your own body's healing properties. They've helped so many more people before. It's regenerative medicine, and QC Kinetics does it. You don't have to worry about surgery. Don't have to worry about a bunch of drugs. And there's no downtime. You can go to one of the sessions there in Mequon or in Greenfield, then go into work. Call QC Kinetics today, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. This is the future of medicine. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation.
Bikers need protection, not just from other drivers, but unfortunately from insurance companies too. If you've been injured in a motorcycle crash, call Gruber Law Offices today. Bikers are often blamed for causing the accident because the insurance companies simply don't want to pay. At Gruber Law Offices, we've been fighting for injured bikers and their families for more than 30 years. Trust us to fight for what you deserve. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
It's Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Rewards Member Appreciation Event. While we offer unbeatable deals every day, now through July 31st, we're showing extra appreciation to our rewards members with exclusive deals. Like $100 instant savings on 4 Michelin, BF Goodrich, or Uniroyal tires. Rewards members get an extra $25 instant savings on any set of 4. 10% off assorted brake pads, shocks, and struts. Rewards members save 15%. Not a rewards member? Sign up today. Don't miss our Rewards Member Appreciation Event going on now at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Traffic is sponsored by Hiller Ford, a family-owned dealership on Highway 100 in Franklin.
It's Truck Month at Hiller Ford. Get factory rebates of $6,000 on 2023 Ford F-150s and 0% financing on 2024 F-150s.
Green Bay Packers open their training camp today. 10:30 is the practice time. You've got the kids riding the bikes and a great tradition. Also the annual shareholders meeting today.
Ah, yes.
Super huge day up in Green Bay. I love listening to these kids. And this is something that started organically. If you haven't been up there, I hope you have. And if you haven't ever gone for training camp, it's a great time to bring your kids or do the family night or whatever. But the lay of the land here, where the locker room is at Lambeau Field versus where the practice field is across Oneida Street. It's a long walk. It's shorter than it used to be because they've built out Lambeau Field so much, but it's a long walk from the locker room down to the practice thing, all the way through the parking lot. The players are in their cleats. They're tired, whatever. When I was up there working training camp, I went to St. Norbert and I worked the Packers training camp when they used to stay on campus. And so I was around that a lot. Man, they were still doing two-a-days. So they practice twice a day. These guys are tired, whatever. And the thing with the kids and the bikes is these kids used to just hang around and get a look at the Packers. And they'd ride their bikes over there, right, from the neighborhood. And somewhere, somehow, it started like players like, hey, kid, let me get that bike here. Let me get a ride.
Yeah, let me just coast all the way back with this.
Yes, and it's a tradition that has stayed since. And now it's been corporatized. I think American Family Field sponsors what they call the Dream Drive or the Dream Ride or whatever. And so there's a big process to it. But it's still kids, hanging out, bringing their bikes, making friends with the players.
And you start to not even think of them as really a player. You just kind of look at them as a friend.
I get a little nervous, but it's fun because they're interactive.
It was exciting because I was like one of the last people, and I thought I wasn't going to get picked, and I was really nervous.
I love that kid right there. Right? She's talking to NBC 26 News in Green Bay a couple of years ago about her experience, let the players ride her bike. Actually, she befriended one of the players. I don't think he's with us anymore. He's not
He's
dead.
with us.
He's not with the team anymore. Yeah. But listen to her here on this.
It's really fun because you get to talk to the people, the NFL players, and it's really fun, and you get to know them and talk to them.
Thanks, man, for coming. Yep. Have a good one.
And I got Ennis Gaines. What?
Want gloves?
Sure. And he's going to ride my bike back again.
There you go.
Yeah, Ennis Gaines was with the team for a couple of seasons, I think.
Okay.
But and then sometimes the players, right, they'll just give the kids their gloves or a little something or sign an autograph and whatever. And it's super fun. And
well, I didn't realize, we talked to Mark Tauscher earlier on the program, and Tausch said that sometimes the kids would deny him. The kids don't always want to give their bike to any player. If they don't recognize a player, they're like,
yeah.
I think I'm going to hold out. I'm going to gamble it over someone more popular.
Can confirm. I saw that where kids, and then some players would like to pick a kid almost for the duration of camp.
All right.
So player doesn't want to go through the whole thing all the time. Eric's my guy. All right, I'm looking for Eric and Eric's bike. So then the kid, right, if somebody's like, all right, kid, and no, I'm waiting on this guy. How humbling is that?
Kid says no to you.
I love this. I should bring this up with Tausch. And another thing that stuck with me in working training camp all these years is these kids and fans know some of the lower tier guys, right? The guys who aren't the stars because they're knowledgeable fans. Yep. I was talking to this guy. He was kind of a journeyman free agent. His name was Latin Barry. And he had been with the then Los Angeles Rams, which then became the St. Louis Rams, which now again are the Los Angeles Rams. But he'd been kind of around the league, and he was brought in late in camp, and he came, and I remember him saying, he was like, man, kids know my name. People are like, hey, Mr. Barry. And I'm like, he's like,
I can't believe this.
Right, I just got here. People know who I am here. He goes, when I was in L.A., they got real movie stars walking around there. Nobody care. What do you do? I play football. Where? For the Rams. Where's that? Here in L.A. Right? Hello? So I thought that was really cool that for these players, and some of them aren't going to make the team, but they get this experience up there in Green Bay. Today is also the annual shareholders meeting.
That's right.
They're going to do it because we're opening camp a little bit earlier because the Packers have the international game coming up, so we get to open camp a little bit sooner because you lose a few days there with travel and whatnot. So I attended my first shareholders meeting as an owner in 2022. Let me just play you a little clip here from that. Okay, this is the Packers treasurer right now giving the financial update. Treasurer's report. Seen a lot of people head for the concession stand at this point. Not too interested in the math. It looks like we're drinking some beers here at the meeting. Is that okay?
We were patient. It was a meeting. We were businesslike.
Is this how we roll as owners?
Oh, do you know it? That's what we do.
You're saying I'm not allowed on the field?
Right.
Well, we haven't met yet. I'm a new owner. My name's Vin. Your name's Mike. I'll remember that, Mike. We're not off to a good start here.
No. We're trying to figure this out.
That's a good guy. Your name is?
My name's Vince. I'm new team owner this year, Steve.
Vince?
Yeah.
Well, you have to be a team owner. Absolutely.
What do I need to know today?
You need to know that you're in a huge family, first and foremost. And the people that think we just bought a piece of paper don't get it.
Hey, how about when the audit committee guy got up there? That was pretty interesting.
Yes, it was.
Oh, it wasn't? Come on.
No, it is good to, being an outsider, getting all that information that is not really normally shared with the public, to be able to hear all those details. It's amazing.
Are we allowed to talk about it even? Or tell anybody? I don't know.
We'll keep it between us.
Okay, you got it.
When did they show us to our office?
This is it. Lambeau Field, that's our office. You get to come in Lambeau Field.
We got the best team. Go Pack! Break it down.
Packers shareholder meeting then later this afternoon following practice. And I feel like for me, like it was something I had to do once.
Sure.
Like it was cool to see and experience. And, you do get some meat, like GM Gutekunst will come out there. President Mark Murphy will come out there.
Yeah.
He's usually pretty funny. These guys are kind of loose and fun. And they'll give you a couple of nuggets that apparently nobody has yet.
Like what? Who are they going to trade for?
We just signed Jordan Love to a 10-year deal.
Okay,
right?
That'd be cool.
It'd be cool to have that announced today.
Yeah.
Maybe they're sitting on it.
That'd be cool.
They're not sitting on it. You know how many people would have to keep their mouths shut? His agent or whatever wouldn't have had leaked it already. Right?
I think it's usually the agent that
gets
leaks
leaked.
It. Yeah.
Right. So who knows what's ahead for that shareholders meeting today? Number of the practices are open to the public this week. It's a 10:30 start time through the week. I think they have the Thursday off, but today, tomorrow, and Wednesday for sure. Open practice in Green Bay. 8:31 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad. It's swimming season, or for some of us, golfing or gardening season, but you're not out there enjoying your favorite hobby because you're sidelined from arthritic joint pain. Bone-on-bone pain in your knees or hips, maybe. Here's what you do. You call QC Kinetics. There are exciting new cellular therapies that can get you the lasting relief you need. QC Kinetics is helping patients all the time. I'm talking cutting-edge treatments that accelerate your own body's healing properties, revitalizing your joints so you can move again. It's not sorcery, it's technology, and you don't need surgery. Call QC Kinetics. The local professionals at QC Kinetics in Greenfield and in Mequon are ready to help you. Here's the phone number, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation. 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
You're not going to want to miss this. Diamonds Direct summer sale starts this weekend. For 3 days only, this Friday through Sunday, get 20% off rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, and more. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. And designers are flying in from New York and LA to showcase their latest trends. That's 20% off, plus $100 off with an appointment and designer trunk shows. Tons of engagement rings on sale, too. 20% off starts Friday. Details at diamondsdirect.com. 3 days only and Sunday.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Lazaga for Comfort Awnings. You've heard me talk about the wonderful new retractable awning the team at Comfort Awnings installed at my home. Now I can have all the cookouts and get-togethers in my backyard with some extra shade and relaxation for my guests. Comfort Awnings is a local family-owned company in Burlington that provides expert installation in southeast Wisconsin and northern Illinois. Now until the end of July, you can receive $400 off any awning or screen. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com to learn more.
The Steinhafels Buy More, Save More sale is back. Take up to $300 off of your bedroom, dining, sofas, home office, and so much more. Use Steinhafels 60-month financing to make your dream room even more affordable. Shop in-store or online at steinhafels.com.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Social Security benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Unable to work due to health problems? Let Tayback help you get approved for the Social Security benefits you're entitled to. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
8:34, I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. Monday, July 22nd, our top story, a deadly end to a party in a Milwaukee park.
I'm Erik Bilstad, analyzing what lies ahead for the Democratic Party.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and looks like we've got an incident on the off-ramp to National Avenue from 894 northbound, so be careful with that. Definitely seeing delays from before Oklahoma Avenue to that point. Eastbound 94 backing up from 76th Street through the Stadium interchange. Westbound's looking pretty good at this point. Southbound 43 backing up from basically midway between Silver Spring and Hampton all the way down past Keefe. Northbound slow around North Avenue curve all the way up to Keefe. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Mostly sunny skies today with a high of 80 degrees. Just a chance of a shower popping up away from Lake Michigan. Otherwise, mostly clear skies tonight and a low down to 66. Right now, Milwaukee temp at 70. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a teenager is dead. 9 other teens injured after a mass shooting overnight in Milwaukee's Deneen Park.
Sheriff's Office says a 17-year-old girl is the fatal victim of the shooting, which happened after what's being called an impromptu car party in the park around 12:30 this morning. The 9 other shooting victims are currently receiving treatment, including an 18-year-old male who is in critical condition. 2 homes near the park were also struck by bullets from the incident, but there have been no reports of any injuries from inside either of the homes. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
A 6-year-old child from Milwaukee dead from suspected child abuse. Police do have a woman in connection to the child's death in custody. No word on their relationship.
Vice President Kamala Harris scheduled to be in Milwaukee tomorrow. Right now, it's due to be her first campaign speech since President Biden announced that he was ending his re-election bid. President Biden's supporters in Milwaukee have mixed feelings on whether the timing might impact Democrats' chances of keeping the White House.
Biden supporter Tom Maloney, while mowing his grass in Milwaukee's east side, says he's not concerned with the timing. In fact, in recent weeks, he wanted Biden to drop out.
He was just at the point where he couldn't handle it. I mean, there was so much potential against his opponent, and I don't think he was able to take advantage of it.
On the flip side, there's Todd Ferris, who proudly displays a Biden-Harris sign in the front yard of his Milwaukee home. He's worried about the race coming up so quickly.
Concerned that the whole process makes it more likely that Trump will win, and I'm anyone but Trump. Harriet
McKinney, a homeowner in Sherman Park, says the timing is in God's hands.
It's hard to say goodbye to yesterday. He was the man for the hour. He defeated Donald Trump.
Jessica Ty, WTMJ News.
Now, House Speaker Mike Johnson has suggested that the announcement from President Biden will spark lawsuits from the GOP challenging Democrats changing up any state ballots. But ABC's Stephen Portnoy tells Wisconsin's Morning News he doesn't believe there's any merit to those.
I do know that there was a lot of talk about the possibility, but it seems to me that if the Democrats can get their ducks in a row and nominate someone, be it Harris or anybody else, by a certain state's deadline, that gets ahead of that.
Legal experts have argued that since the Democratic Party's candidate isn't officially set until they've been formally nominated at the convention, laws about changing the nominee would not apply in this case.
Time for news about your money. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Opening bell on Wall Street, and the Dow is climbing. It's up 146 points to 40,433. The S&P 500 at 5549. That is up about 45 points. And the NASDAQ up over 200 to 17,929. Get an honest opinion of where you are financially and where you're headed. Work with a fee-only fiduciary. Start at annexwealth.com.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here. Are you in the market for a new roof, but overwhelmed at how to start the process? Well, here's a suggestion. Go with Tri-County Contracting. Installing roofs since the 70s, this family-owned company works for you. Stop by their showroom in New Berlin or go to TriCountyContractingWI.com. You don't want a process that takes forever. Tri-County Contracting makes it easy, from getting the estimate to getting that brand new roof. Worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. Tri-County Contracting.
Tune in on Sundays at 10 a.m. for the AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show. Join AccuNet's Brian and David Wickert for the most up-to-date information on mortgage trends, along with timely news on the real estate market. The housing market is in flux, but the national headlines don't often fit local market conditions. Find out what's really happening on the front lines of real estate and mortgage financing in Wisconsin and make better decisions by tuning in every Sunday at 10 a.m. The AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show with Brian and David Wickert on WTMJ.
Rose Gray here from Fox World Travel. The largest vacation sale in the nation is happening right now. It's the Fox World Travel exclusive July sale with Apple Vacations. Select from top resorts at favorite destinations in Mexico and the Caribbean, paired with nonstop flights to get you there fast. Let Fox World Travel book your best price guarantee vacation and secure your reservation with just a deposit. You can also book your trip online. Visit foxworldtravel.com/July or call 866-GO-FOX-GO today.
$1 doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin. The buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Police
Eastbound 94, we got some backups from about 84th Street all the way through the stadium interchange. We've also got northbound 43 backing up right from North Avenue all the way up to Keefe, with the southbound side from just before Hampton Avenue, riding those brakes all the way into Capitol Drive. Whatever the incident was on northbound 894, the off-ramp to National Avenue looks like has been cleared out of the way. We do still have some delays in that area. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Mostly sunny skies today, high of 80 degrees. Full moon, I think, continues tonight, or was it full this last night?
Boy, that moon
it's got
over
a name.
the weekend.
One of these names, Buck Moon, this moon, Strawberry Moon, Donkey Moon, I don't know what it is.
Is it Donkey
tonight.
Moon?
It's not Donkey Moon tonight. Why do I do this? I should look it up before just openly posing questions on the phone. What is that moon called? I don't know. Take 2 seconds and plan it out. Find it out and actually share some information.
Hey, today
I'm the Donkey Moon.
We're expected to see a little bit smoother operation at airports across the world after airlines struggled to restore operations days after that faulty software update caused some issues, caused havoc worldwide, resulted in several carriers grounding flights. You heard about this, right? The whole CrowdStrike thing. This broke early Friday morning. We had it on Friday here.
Line was out the door at Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport with thousands of people trying to get out of here.
Gosh. Pilots not knowing where to land their plane, or not landed, but where to taxi their plane after they landed in some airports.
ABC's Stephen Portnoy joined us earlier today. He stopped by the studios and then went to catch his flight. He said it was a 2-hour wait to get your bags checked.
It's better now, but still a little bit of fallout from it. The security company is called CrowdStrike. It sent out a corrupted software update to customers. Microsoft estimates that more than 8 million devices running its Windows operating system were affected from it.
We found a place at the airport, and 2 hours later, someone came and said, no, you cannot stay there because this area will close. So we had to wake up the children and to find another place.
That's one mom dealing with it.
Nope.
They found a nice little cozy area in one of the airports, and then we're told, hey, no, you can't stay here. More than 3,500 Delta flights have been scrubbed. So as far as today goes,
the outage impacting operations at our nation's ports, borders, hospitals, 911 call centers, and more. The fix isn't fast. It's machine by machine, where each computer needs to be manually rebooted and updated.
So they're going through that process. All those blue screens have been wiped out now. And
it would take 100 years just in a company our size to go through machine by machine and reboot every one of these computers. It'd be a week and we'd still be fine. Oh, nobody ran the thing on that one. Yeah, this one. Right? Imagine if you're one of these massive companies.
Well, they're getting there. They're getting there, and a lot of people unhappy with how that handled. I know some of the airlines have been offering some waivers and some opportunities to rebook a flight without having to lose any money, and they're trying to help, but obviously it took a few days to get back to normal.
It's the Buck Moon.
Thank you.
Is what moon we're in.
I appreciate you saying that.
This is the Buck Moon, and it was full last night.
Okay.
So there you go.
I saw the nearly Buck Moon on Saturday night. It was amazing. What's that when it's nearly nearly Buck? It was a nice looking moon.
Greg, get us out of here.
Hey, this is Steve Fitty for Heiser Automotive. I love talking about Heiser. You know that. 5 years driving their great vehicles. Last week was moving week. I dropped off the 2023 Ford Explorer XLT, picked up a 2023 Chevy Equinox. A couple things going on here. One, I love the Chevy Equinox. Great vehicle. A little smaller than the Explorer, but still plenty of room. Kathy and I are going to buy a Chevy Equinox in the summer this year, so we want to see all the features and all the cool stuff. They're loaded. Great gas mileage, all kinds of cool trim levels, a lot of safety features, including the rear vision camera, which we remarked on how clear that picture was. Lane keep assist, all kinds of technology. You get that with Chevy, and all the great models and experiences you find at Heiser Automotive. You can find all of their great cars online at Heiser.com, all the great programs, including Safe and Sound, Roadside Assistance for Life. That's why they say every day at Heiser, and you know this to be true, and I know it from working with them. Every day. Today's your day.
Vince Vitrano for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. While we're in a joking mood, what did you say? The nearly Buck?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't
almost
full.
Buck.
It wasn't full Buck.
Pretty near Buck. It was not a full Buck moon. All right, I'm supposed to do a dad joke, or does that suffice? Should we just leave it there with the nearly buck, the fully buck?
What do you call a naked
unbucked moon? What do you call a nearly buck moon?
Yeah.
Prittner buck? Okay, that's your joke for today. I'll give you a new dad joke tomorrow.
Excellent.
Because what we got to do is get to the basics. The big deal going on right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. If you break your payments out, and that's important if you have a really big project, you want to do all the windows, or you want to do a patio door. So you're making a major investment. You want to spread those payments out month by month. And here's the deal. Pay as low as $18 per window, $81 per patio door per month. This deal is alive until the end of this month, so it ends on July 31st. $18 a window or $81 per door per month at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Certain restrictions do apply. And again, the deal ends at the end of the month. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Buying a home should be a joy, but could you imagine doing this without a realtor? Paperwork, inspections, appraisals, deadlines, showings, market research? Or you could relax. Or understanding legal documents, negotiating offers, coordinating inspections, securing finance. Oh, sorry. A realtor can take the stress out of the home buying process. See how at wra.org/a-realtor-can. Brought to you by the Wisconsin Realtors Association.
Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
Saving money on your next project at Menards. For over 50 years, Menards has been a leading supplier of quality roof and floor trusses. Choose from our large selection of residential and post-frame trusses, or design custom trusses specifically for your project. Order trusses for your next building project at Menards, America's #1 home improvement retailer for customer satisfaction, according to J.D. Power. For J.D. Power 2024 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
Save big money at Menards.
Traffic is sponsored by the amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford.
The successful Mineshaft Restaurant in Hartford is hiring positive, professional servers, bartenders, and pizza cooks. You'll make real cash. Inquire today and start next week. MineshaftRestaurant.com.
.47 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Profound question here for you. Bigger week, last week or this one?
As far as news goes?
In Milwaukee. For stuff happening.
It's got to be this one. And the reason I say that is because, believe it or not, I think this week affects more people than the RNC.
For sure,
week.
Right? Monster week ahead here in Wisconsin. On the news end, you have Vice President Harris is supposed to visit tomorrow. So that'll be
in Milwaukee.
At this point, it looks like her first campaign-style visit since President Biden announced he's not seeking re-election. So you'll have that. All eyes will be on Wisconsin tomorrow.
A lot of national folks probably coming in for that one, too.
Right. So you got that. Then you got EAA AirVenture in Oshkosh starts today. That runs through the weekend. So Whitman Regional Airport there becomes one of the busiest airports on the planet.
The busiest, right?
There's been some, I don't know, I can't verify that, so I just throw in one of the.
Okay.
It was long the claim, but don't know.
I don't know. Paris is probably having a busy week.
That's right, because, there's the Olympics. So you've got that, and that runs through the weekend. Milwaukee Air and Water Show then runs Saturday and Sunday. That's in Milwaukee. So you have fighter jets probably buzzing the skies midweek. We've seen that before, where they start getting their points and doing their practice runs.
Yep.
Is it Blue Angels this year or the Thunderbirds?
Again,
I've asked the question. If I had taken a second, I think it's Thunderbirds. Greg, that's your fault. You're producing the program. You need to provide me that information. All right, can you look that up in the short term, though? So that is Friday, usually they do a practice run at 3-something, and then the big shows are on Saturday and on Sunday. Then Harley-Davidson's now annual homecoming party. That officially begins Thursday. Big concerts at Veterans Park are Friday and Saturday. But you got riders from around the world who are going to be packing dealerships and other spots all over southeast Wisconsin. They love to go out and ride and take these scenic rides.
I've already seen them. I saw Harleys rolling in yesterday.
How did you know they weren't just, the guy next door?
Couldn't have been. They clearly were here.
They're clearly out-of-town Harleys.
They're here to see Cypress Hill later this week.
Perfect. German Fest, jawohl.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Starts Friday. That one I did look up. You're welcome.
It is Thunderbirds, by the way. We have
Thank you. Good. Confirmed?
Yeah.
All right. Where are we going to put everybody again? I don't mean like staying or whatever, or hotels. Clearly, we've demonstrated that we have enough in the region, at least, to handle that. But where are we going to put everybody?
There's also on the lakefront Milwaukee Brew Fest.
It can't be.
On Saturday.
Where are they going to put that?
Taste your way through unlimited pours of craft beer.
Man, it's going to be amazing. And actually, right now, the weather looks really good.
Yes.
What do I got here? Chance of showers on Wednesday, but that's scattered storms likely Tuesday. We get that out of the way. Thursday, mostly sunny, high 76. Friday, high of 79 degrees under mostly sunny skies.
You didn't even mention the Packers.
Oh, yeah. Annual shareholders meeting is today, and Packers training camp kicks off in about an hour and a half. So is that enough for you? Is that good?
And there'll be something more. Something else will break
You
this
forgot
week.
to mention St. Mary's has their festival this week.
Oh, yeah. Dom's. When's their
Right. I don't
festival,
know,
too?
right?
St.
Yeah,
Dom's
who
is at
knows?
some point. And then, of course, at the end of the week...
Olympic events, actually, what did you say, Wednesday they start?
They already started. That's not unprecedented. That's
Right.
fairly normal. They have to start some of the stuff ahead of time.
The pool play and badminton and whatnot is occurring.
Right, yes. Can't wait until the official lighting of the cauldron before you play any of the sports.
It's funny, I made fun of it, but like what I love to watch, what we all do around Olympics time is watch these niche sports
Yes,
that
it's my
you normally
favorite.
wouldn't see on
Like
ESPN
the
or
bike
something.
racing and
Right.
all the swimming and all that stuff.
I need to watch Team USA basketball. I see that all the time. Just let me know when they get the gold, and we'll be done with that.
They plow through
Right.
every team.
I would watch Giannis. I'd like to see Giannis
I
play for
agree.
Greece.
That'd be cool.
And this is TMJ4's big couple of weeks as well.
Yeah, NBC is all in.
All in.
With all the eyes.
So there's your week. And then, by the way, next week, State Fair. So this is not sustainable.
What are you talking about? It's not sustainable.
It's too much.
We live for.
It's too much stuff. Till the end of the show, or what? We got to do it. No, play it under Debbie then.
Sure.
Switch out the music. There we go. All
Okay. All right, southbound on 43. We've got some backups basically before Hampton Avenue all the way down past Keefe. Northbound is slow around North Avenue to Keefe. Pretty typical stuff there. Westbound on 894, slowing from 27th Street. That stretches all the way to 68th. And then eastbound 94 is going to be a bit backed up from just about 76th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Our manager.
Yeah, we made a huge adjustment with the bases loaded.
Their manager.
He's a bum. He wants to go to Chicago. Fine. I'm glad you suck.
Our manager.
And I got emotional when he hit it because I'm just so freaking happy for him.
Their manager.
You're a traitor.
It's the Brewers headed to AmFam South to take on the Cubs. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:30. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
Sorry for cussing.
The way the summer is flying by, you'd think you're out of time to get a really good deal on a car. Hi, all. Debbie Laziga here, and I say nay, nay. It's still the summer of excitement at Hall Volkswagen, especially if you're looking for a good deal on a 2024 redesigned VW Atlas. This thing is gorgeous, it's comfortable, has space for up to 7 passenger, plus all the stuff that goes along with your summer adventures. Volkswagen has the IQ Drive safety enhancing technology too, and it is standard in that VW Atlas. Check it out for yourself. You can head over to Brookfield right on Blue Mound Road and stop at Hall Volkswagen, and you can ask them all your questions. At Hall Volkswagen, it's Hall good.
Are you a veteran who needs assistance? Do you know a veteran who needs help? The Wisconsin Department of Veterans Affairs is here for Wisconsin veterans, their families, and their survivors. We can help connect veterans with services such as medical care, financial and legal assistance, housing, mental health services, substance use treatment, and more. For more information, please visit wisvets.com. That's WIS vets.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Veterans Affairs.
David Nason of The Fix-It Show here with my friend Chris Mancuso of Accurate Basement Repair.
Hey, David, did you know it's been the third wettest spring here in Milwaukee, like since 1870?
Seriously? Tell us more.
Well, it's a great time to get down in that basement and take the smell test. If it smells musty, take a flashlight, take a look around, see what you have.
As a home inspector, I know firsthand, do not procrastinate. Have your basement looked at ASAP or visit AccurateBasementRepair.com because they're not just good, they're accurate.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Traffic is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management. It's time to know the difference, and Annex Wealth Management is ready to help with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary partner. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
8:56 on Wisconsin's Morning News, WTMJ forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. High of 80 degrees today, just a slight chance of a pop-up shower away from the lake, mostly sunny skies. Again, that high 80 degrees. I'm headed up to EAA Air Venture, Oshkosh. Nice. Today it's going to be 170 degrees on the tarmac.
Oh, it'll be great.
It'll be all good. Air show this afternoon. So I'll bring back some various interviews and accounts of what we see and hear and feel.
Looking forward to it.
Love that event. And then the big news, the news will still come out today. Vice President Harris is due in Milwaukee tomorrow. And I shared earlier, we don't have guidance as to where she's going to be, what time she's going to be here, with whom she's meeting.
Usually about 24 hours in advance is when we get that.
Right. It's not unusual, actually, for the vice president's campaign or for that whole operation to not until like within 24 hours, right, that we would get those details. So don't read anything into that. Just sharing with you, well, where is she going? Well, we don't know yet. But we expect that to come at any time.
And that will be the first, likely, as of now anyway, it's anticipated it would be the first campaign stop since the President Biden announcement that he's not running for re-election.
And right here in Battleground,
right here in Milwaukee,
Wisconsin. 8:57, WTMJ's Political Power Hour with Steve Scafidi. Oh, Scaffidi's off, yeah? Guess who you got coming in? He doesn't know.
Tracy Johnson behind the mic.
Tracy Johnson will be here hosting the Political Power Hour. That is next on Wisconsin's Morning News. Again, I asked the question that I didn't have an answer. You're lucky I'm here for you.
It's the Thunderbirds, too, by the way.
Thunderbirds also? Okay, great. Donkey.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business